nice day out today. It's misty. I'm going over to the hands-off rally. See what's good with that.
Sir.
Look at that. Not even 2 minutes in, you got a shout out to the chat by some random passerby. Didn't even see him. He was hidden. Shade. I'm gonna walk through. Maybe we'll walk through. Can we walk through? Yeah, we can walk through here. Yeah, Alfie, this is all those protests going on across the country today. This is the one in Nola. Well, at least not yet. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm heading toward it. We can go see what's going on with it. It's like some anti-Trump stuff, basically. I think that's what it is, isn't it? Something like that. Oh, is that shut? I gotta go back out this way. Yeah, it's like hands off, and they're like protests or rallies across all the United States. Look. There I am. And I got those bracelets, and I actually got some of those decals made up in my pocket. So I got some Alex Docious decals on me with me. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. I know it's been a while since I did anything, because I was like so used to streaming like an event or something. I was like, well, what am I going to do? Just wander around? I mean, I guess I could do that. Find another section of the city, go over by Marcus and wander around in the Garden District. But today was an event, so I was like, well, hell yeah, we got something to stream. And I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not. It's going to show that there's people that don't like what he's doing, I guess. Which is pretty obvious at this point. Yeah, $25 for parking is kind of crazy. That's in there. That's all just a parking garage right there. Makes me happy that I don't have a car. I don't have to worry about doing that. So the protest is just basically directly that way in Lafayette Square. Starts at 2, which is like now, I'm assuming. What time is it? Yeah, it's like 30 seconds. 30 seconds till 2. Does this work? I can't tell if it's... There's no indicator as to whether or not it's working or not. Just a flashing light. We're gonna wait till there's an opening and just go. we made it. Run, Forrest. Run! You saw that hand gesture, huh, Misty? I was like, what is that? Hang 10, keep it. It's like the surfer thing. Now we run, Forrest, run. Yeah, you know what? Let me show you these right quick. Check it out. Let's see. Can you see that? Yeah, look at that. I got a bunch of Alex Dosh's decals. In case somebody runs into me. Well, yeah, Marcus, you nearby. He's technically kind of close. Oh yeah, where's Doc? Dr. Diarrhea. Boyd's. The font is such that I don't know how much smaller I can really make them. We can try. You see how it's like two lines basically to each letter. So make them too small, they'll be like little hair thin lines. Maybe I can make some that are just Alex with that, and then it'll just be 4 letters. And then you'll have to tell people about the Docious part. You're like, what Alex is that? There's so many Alexes in the world. Lafayette Square is up here. I'm pretty sure that's where it's supposed to be. That's where it said it was at. Let's make sure this lens is cleaned off. Nice clean lens. I don't know if it was dirty or not, but I didn't wipe it before I started. Leave alone. Oh yeah, what are you unloading? Rounds? From a magazine? Of course they want you to walk on the sunny side of this shit. Yeah, I can't walk on the shaded side. Oh, unloading a U-Haul, okay. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, there's people here. This big Drussus crane. What they're working on. What up, Sin? Welcome in. There's definitely people out here. Over here at Lafayette Square. I'm gonna go for this guy. Here we are.
These events are not on social media.
I bet all these people.
I don't know what that means. It's a certain kind of. Oh, we've got no roses. Watch out, no.
That's something else. No. Up down.
This place is pretty thick.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Here, let's take a picture together. I can't wait. We're gonna get a picture or your sign, and I don't know if I have the capability.
You may take it?
For me?
I was gonna say, I'm right here.
Ah, that's awesome.
Let me switch it. I took like 3 of them just in case you were blinking. I helped him with the photo. That's one person. I'm supposed to help 10 people, right? Right, safety. They've chosen their sides now. They're like, we can let statues go, but you know what? I don't want to sit in the sun too much. It's like fucking sunburn on my neck. I love it. You said thingy one and thingy two, yeah. Well, that's just the way the COBOL programming language works, unfortunately. Puppy and puppies. Oh, Lord. Get the Borg thing going here. Star Trek reference there. Interesting. Right, Alfie? You notice there's not a lot of like really young people here. It's mostly old people. There's a few youngins. I didn't even see Michelle. Where would she come in here?
So we were trying out this phone.
What's this? With the middle finger in it. Let's get the middle finger in the uterus. It's like
Someone is all the time.
Yeah, right?
100% of the time.
Yeah, it's windy out here. That's cute. And the shirt to match.
Now have a good look.
That's right.
I'm gonna be back there. Okay, I love you. Thank
I'm trying to get to this shaded area. I don't know if this music's copyright or not. Is it indie? I guess they're gonna have some point and somebody's gonna talk because they got a microphone and everything.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, right.
So fancy.
Yeah. You guys were getting a little tired.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna be
Hanging out with it.
What I just
There you go. As soon as I walk away.
Wonderful to be with you all today. Let me hear you. My name is Laura Sanders, and it is an honor to share this stage with so many powerful voices today and to be part of this movement with all of you.
Excuse me.
Today, we rally together to demand a stop to the destruction of our country. To the terror infiltrated in our communities and the looting of our democracy. Billionaire vultures think the United States belongs to them. And today, all of us and people all over the country are coming together to say, hands off. Today, we are here to listen, to learn, to be in community, and to build community. This is a peaceful protest. We are all here together to have our voices heard. We are also here to keep each other safe. Lots of helpers are floating around today. If you see people in white hats, those are our logistics team. Reach out to them if you have questions. Legal observers are here. They're wearing green hats. Yeah, give it up for the legal observers. For the legal observers, leave them alone. They are here to observe everything, not just you. We have the security team. They're on the corners in the high visibility yellow vests. If you see If you see anything that seems a little fishy that you want to report to security, please tell them immediately.
Thank you.
The security, yes, Trump is one. The security team is here to de-escalate, and the security team is here to keep us safe. We are also here to do those things. Medical tables, this is very important for everyone. It's a hot day, it's a windy day. Medical tables are at the corner of the park. If you're feeling dizzy or sick, go to there. They also have snacks if you're just feeling like a little low on blood sugar or water. We are rallying at this location. We are not marching today. So make sure if you need to sit, sit. If you need to take a break, take a break. And please be respectful and helpful to folks who may have mobility issues or need to take a break themselves. Help people get to the medical stations. We are here to help each other. We are a community. This is not an episode of Survivor. We are, in fact, here to make friends. I also want to shout out the amazing folks at Parks and Parkways. They've been so supportive of all of us being here expressing our First Amendment rights. Let's please make sure that we don't trash the place. Trashing somewhere is a very Trump move. And we all know that we're better than that. You're going to be hearing a lot of really great information today. We have so many wonderful speakers. You do not have to take notes. We have a dedicated website for the day, so you can find someone. We have clipboards with QR codes wandering around, and you can make sure to find those people, and they can give you all the information that you want to know. So today we can be inspired by the magic of this moment, and today we can be together.
I was like, what was that?
And tomorrow and every day after, we can organize to take our country back from these vultures. Yourselves for being here today, everybody. This is such a powerful moment. I'm so happy to be here with all of you and so proud to be here in New Orleans. I'm excited to introduce this first speaker of the day. We have so many wonderful speakers. Kicking us off right, we have J.P. Morrell, who started, yes! started serving New Orleans as a public defender and was elected to the state legislature in 2006, where he helped pass a historic package of laws to increase protections for the survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence, and a constitutional amendment to require unanimous jury decisions in felony trials. Yes, I'm doing a Jim Crow era law in Louisiana. He is currently the president of New Orleans City Council, but y'all already probably knew that, all right? Everybody, start clapping now. Let's give him a huge round of applause.
I'm going to begin by saying something. This is the most nervous speech I've ever given in my entire life. I wish you could see what I see today, which is the sheer amount of people who are here to stand up. When I agreed to come here today, I did not know what to expect, whether we have 10 people or 1,000 people. And it is exceeding my expectations. Now I say that because today is very different than 2017. When we organized in 2017, we still had social norms. You knew you could protest, you knew you could organize, but you also knew that you weren't going to get deported for it, right? We knew that in 2017 we had rights, and that basic rights, social norms existed. When I think about today, I think about the conversations I had with my grandparents and my parents about the 1950s and 60s, about the times when the federal government was wiretapping and surveilling civil rights activists, when people in power were doing everything possible to track those in the opposition. That is what we face today. So I want to begin by everyone, give yourselves a round of applause for telling the federal government you don't give a damn. To tell you that in itself sends a powerful message. Now, it's different today than it was in the past. The level of organization that we have to have and to sustain that organization is something that we have not seen in almost 100 years, but together we are here for it. We are going to organize at our kitchen tables, at our bars, our restaurants, in the parks, like our forefathers did. Because that is what is necessary. We have to wait at this because there is no other choice. I feel like I'm at a concert because people in the back, hey. We know that we are not just fighting for our lives, we're fighting for the lives of our children and our children's children. We are fighting for the fate of our country. It is so amazing to me, the list of people you have speaking today that aren't politicians is hella impressive. These are activists who know what needs to be done and going to tell you what we collectively need to do. Now, for those of you, and I know Sue's shaking her head somewhere, y'all know I love Hamilton. Like, it's my son's name is Alexander. And there is a line from my shot. I'm not going to rap my shot because I'm not in the shower. But, and I say it because I know a lot of people talk about moments. But there's a line that says, scratch that, this is not a moment, it's a movement. We're all the hungriest brothers with something to prove with. Those oppose us, we take it on a stand. Roll like Moses through the promised land. That is what we are. We are a movement of people who are here for the long haul. Today is the first step in many. This is a marathon, not a sprint, and we are all here for it. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm excited to introduce now to you Samara Smith. Samara is the New Orleans Economic Justice Organizer for Step Up Louisiana. She is a Xavier and Tulane alumna, researcher, and student organizer. Everyone, give it up for Samara Smith!
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so
speakers talking on their lived experience, fighting for immigrant rights, fighting for the queer and trans community, and fighting against censorship on our university campuses. I'm so proud of all of the work that's been done to make this event happen and all the people that have come together to support it. To the elected officials that are here, and especially to the ones who are not here, you sit in proximity to power in a way many of us can only dream of. We are here doing our parts to make sure that we can make a lasting change in New Orleans and across Louisiana. And we expect you, our representatives, to do the same. We have seen how the Trump administration and Elon Musk have constantly towed, pushed, and leaped over the line when it comes to our civil liberties and our legal protections. Boo is right. Our expectations from you, our elected officials, is that when they push the line, you push back harder. When they toe the line, you pull it tighter. And make it clear you're willing to put your body and your career on the line to protect our liberties. Because I promise you, the ones you need to fear are not AIPAC, it's not Shell, and it's not Lockheed Martin. It's us, the people, and we will remember. The city of New Orleans
We are not criminals.
No
We
somos,
essential people.
no somos criminales, somos esenciales. No somos criminales, somos esenciales.
Apparently, I had hit the mute button accidentally.
We're essential
Somos esenciales.
workers.
Ok. Pues ya todo lo dijo mi compañera.
Just like my compañera said,
Yo solo voy a agregar que gracias por el apoyo a todos ustedes.
I'm just going to add thank you all for coming out and supporting today.
Gracias a los oficiales electos.
Sorry about that.
Morel le dijo directamente que nos apoye para que no quiten las pólizas que protegen a los inmigrantes aquí en Nueva Orleans.
I'd like to address directly JP Morrell. Thank you for being out here today, and I call on you to not remove the policies that protect immigrants and the people of New Orleans from collaboration with ICE in our jails and with our police.
My bad. Keeping you on your toes.
Somos personas que venimos a trabajar.
We're people who came here to work.
Venimos a sacar a nuestra familia adelante.
We came here for a better life for our families.
Somos gente que venimos a levantar la ciudad cada vez que pasa un huracán.
We've come to rebuild the city of New Orleans after every hurricane that comes by.
Somos los que trabajamos detrás de en la cocina de cada restaurante donde vienen a comer todos los visitantes.
Y'all see us in the back of the house at all the favorite restaurants where all the visitors who come to this city come to eat. We're there.
Somos los que limpiamos los hoteles también.
We're the ones who clean the hotel rooms that people stay in when they visit.
Y ustedes pueden ver que hasta cuando termina un desfile de Mardi Gras somos los que limpiamos las calles.
And y'all see that when the Mardi Gras parade's finished, we're the ones coming behind, cleaning up the streets for y'all.
How long was it muted for? I don't even know. Shit.
Somos un engrane en esta economía importante.
We are an integral part of this economy.
No se puede remover porque entonces sucedería un colapso de la
We are
economía.
inextricably intertwined. If you take out the immigrants, the economy will collapse.
Por eso que viva la democracia,
So long live democracy!
que viva la libertad. Gracias.
Yeah, I want to say a few words. I think that we all have a role to play, whoever we are in this movement, right? But only you can play the role that you have about the people around you, right? I want to name that New Orleans is a place that has been diverse for millennia. Its name is Bulbancha before. Look, the borders crossed us in this city. We've been Spain, we've been France, we've been the United States. We are all from this planet and we all have a right to survive. There is no wrong or right way to immigrate, just like there is no wrong or right way to survive. Y'all, I think that we need to call on our elected officials. Some of them call themselves Christians. We want to remind people that Jesus was an immigrant. We want to remind them to have mercy. We want to remind them that it might be us in 10 years if our economy stays like this, crossing the Rio Grande with a baby in our arms. I want to name that Jeff Landry, the racist anti-immigrant governor that we have, has trafficking charges in his family's seafood business. You can read it at NOLA.com. That they employ undocumented Mexican workers to shell their seafood, and yet they don't want people to have equal rights under the law or legal pathway to citizenship. Not a Trump hotel would operate with immigrants. These politicians want to, it's about labor exploitation. They want to make people, they want to isolate people and individually kidnap them and take them from their families, even though they depend on them for their labor. That is wrong. Immigrants make America great, y'all. Many of us, our ancestors, not that long ago, we just, celebrated St. Patrick's Day. We just had the Italian-Irish parade right here in the quarter, right? Those were immigrants, right? We have ancestors from all over the world, whether they were right here by force, from Africa, and stayed resisting. Y'all, we are a country of gumbo. Even the word gumbo is a word from West Africa that even people who were brought here in the most cruel conditions that we should never forget gave us this cultural wealth. So we got layers in there from all over the world. And our Central American, our Latin American brothers and sisters are just the newest flavor to add to the sauce. And so we need to stand up for them. All right? There's a website that you can all get on, and that we have a call to action for y'all. There's some green flyers going around. You can scan it. So we need you to call your elected officials and leave a message with them so that when they get to their office on Monday, they know that that thousands of voters are standing with their immigrant neighbors, right? Yes. We need y'all. Whether you live here in New Orleans or in Kenner, where the police are arresting people. You know, we have people who were passengers arrested for driving without a license and separated from their families by ICE. It is cruel and it's inhumane. We've got to stop it. So if your church, if your synagogue, if your Mardi Gras dance team, if your union, if your neighborhood association can sign on to a letter to our elected officials, they need to hear from you. Your neighbors from all over the world are the ones who are going to be here for you no matter what happens. During the next storm, they're going to be the ones helping you get on your feet, even when the government has abandoned you. So I need you to stand up for them. Make sure you sign that letter. Make sure you're calling them. You can visit our table from Muñoz Mirante in the back for more information about how to volunteer. And with that, I'm going to hand the word over to our brother Felix.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. The people united will never be defeated. Thank y'all. Again, I was going to do some Donald Trump related chants, but I think there are some children in the audience, so that might be inappropriate for today. I'm Felix or Felix. I'm a volunteer with Unión Migrante and also a member of New Orleans for Community Oversight of the Police, otherwise called No Cop, Not Yes Cop. We're obviously out here today to stand together against the Trump administration's attacks on black folks, on immigrants, on transgender folks, and on everyone facing political repression. We're here to stand with all the workers, and especially federal workers and migrant workers and students who are facing these racist attacks on their jobs, on their unions, and on their schools. We're here to stand with people like Alfredo, not this Alfredo, Alfredo Lelo Juarez, who's a farm worker and a union organizer who was just arrested last week by ICE in retaliation for his activism. That ain't right. We're here to stand with people like Mahmoud Khalil, who's a student, a Palestinian student arrested by ICE and held here right in Louisiana because he protested against the genocide of his people. But I want to bring up something Samara and Edith brought up earlier. These attacks are scary, they're daunting, but they're also not entirely new, because black people have always been under attack here in Louisiana, where we have one of the highest incarceration rates on the entire planet, and where racist police are allowed to murder people like Ronald Green and Davari Robertson with impunity. Immigrants have always been under attack here in Louisiana. Like last year when my friend's dad got deported over 1,000 miles away from his family because Jefferson Parish Police collaborated with ICE. My transgender friends will tell you that they have always been under attack here in Louisiana. Even our rights to free speech have always been under attack here in Louisiana, like last year when our white supremacist governor Jeff Landry sent an army of militarized police to attack anti-war student protesters at Tulane University. That's shameful. That's shameful. But like we said, these attacks are escalating under the Trump administration, but we're from the South, and that means we know how to fight back as well as anybody because we've been doing it for so long. I've been knowing what it feels like to get fired from a job for union organizing. I've been knowing what it feels like to have a police officer's arms around my neck in a chokehold because I spoke up. That was a long time since I've been knowing that. And as we've been talking about, our immigrant siblings have been organizing for a long time in groups like Unión Migrante. Right now, there are a lot of ways that we can help out too. A lot of us have been trained on how we can go out and film ICE and investigate the scenes of potential ICE sightings. A lot of us have already put that into practice, and the important thing is that not only we can warn people who are most at risk, but also we can prevent spreading fear and misinformation. So our immigrant neighbors and friends can still live their lives and survive like they always have been. So everybody get with Unión Migrante on that. There's also a march on May Day. I think we all know which day May Day is. The first. I also mentioned I'm part of a group called No Cop. No Cop is also a part of the National Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression that was formed out of the struggle to free Angela Davis. And we're committed to continuing that struggle in a fight against mass incarceration and racist policing. We continue that struggle by fighting alongside the victims of police brutality and their families, people like Glenn Foster and Ronald Green and DeVar Robertson. We continue that struggle by fighting alongside students who face bogus criminal charges like the ones here in New Orleans, who faced and fought and beat those bogus criminal charges last summer, right here in New Orleans. And we continue that struggle by fighting against our white supremacist governor, Jeff Landry, when he tries to put unhoused people in concentration camps. When he resumes the death penalty by gassing and starts with people like Jesse Hoffman Jr. And when he tries and fails, like he did last week, to incarcerate children younger and younger than they already are being right here. We don't need to put anybody in fucking Angola prison, much less children. So like we all said, we got a lot of work to do, but many hands make light work. So come get to work with us, come get to work with Unión Migrante, come get to work with No Cop. We got a lot of people walking around with clipboards and stuff, so come talk to them. Let's keep it in the streets, and let's make it one long, hot summer for Donald Trump and Jeff Landry.
No racist police! No justice, no peace! No racist police! Thank you!
Unión Migrante, let them hear it! This continues to be such a beautiful crowd, such a big crowd. We have some people in the back I know are trying to hear. If you're in the front and you're wondering, should I sit or not? I'm feeling a little tired. I welcome you to sit. It will help the sound travel. You don't have to, but just know that that might help out some people in the back trying to participate. I want to thank you all for still being here on this day. I'm very excited to introduce the next person. We have such a talented and accomplished speaker coming to the stage. Giovanna Joseph is the founder and artistic director of the award-winning Opera Creole. Miss Giovanna Joseph, along with her daughter and co-founder Aria Mason, has received awards for mounting lost or rarely heard operas by composers of color, such as Samuel Coleridge Taylor's Thelma, William Grant Still's Minette Fontaine, Scott Joplin's Treebonisha, Lucien Lambert's La Flamenca, and her original opera, The Lions of Reconstruction, From Black Codes to the Ballot Box, written to celebrate New Orleans Tricentennial. Her research has been featured on CBS Saturday Morning, NBC Nightly News, the NPR, the New York Times, and the Washington Post. And we all get to hear her right now. Everybody put your hands together for Giovanna Joseph.
Thank you all. Thank you so very much. I'm so proud to be asked to be here because opera is often one of our pieces of history that get suppressed, that get lost in drawers, and that we don't know our history as people of color in opera, especially in 19th century New Orleans. So I'm here to represent the arts community, the culture bearers, the singers and musicians. You're out here, let us know. I'm also standing here on the shoulders of my great-great-grandfather, who signed a petition that was hand-delivered to Abraham Lincoln, demanding the right to vote. And I'm here to say that we are not going back to losing our rights. We're not going back. When you think about New Orleans, How would you describe New Orleans without describing our arts and culture? You can't. The music is all a part of our own life soundtrack. The arts, the Mardi Gras, the Black Masking Indians, the baby dolls, the jazz musicians, and all of our classical musicians who are not as well known as we should be, but we all have come together to make a wonderful New Orleans. Someone said, well, you know, I'd rather my tax dollars go to people who are going to go to college and major in being a physician or a lawyer and all of that. And I say, but you travel the world, and when you travel the world, do you ask for tours of physicians and law offices? No. When you come to New Orleans, do you ask for tours of physician and law offices? No. So our arts is important. Not only do we provide over $20 billion in the revenue of the state of Louisiana, and employ over 550,000 people, the funding for us is important. It's very important. Now, one of the things that was on CBS Saturday morning with Michelle Miller was something that we did that broke history, and I think may have broken Donald Trump's heart. In January and February of this year, Opera Creole, in partnership with the Historic New Orleans Collection and Washington, D.C. based Opera Lafayette, gave the world premiere 137 years late of an opera written by a 19th century New Orleans free composer of color. It just so happens that we were in Washington, D.C. rehearsing at the Kennedy Center when our New York Times article also posted just days before he decided to take over the Kennedy Center. You cannot suppress history and art. You cannot suppress people's accomplishments. If you are a superior being, no anyone else's accomplishments would not bother you, because you are going to come to the top either way. If you have to suppress art and history and close museums and cut university funding, that only speaks poorly of you. So we have been working over the years trying to get the things out of libraries and research facilities to bring this wonderful history of New Orleans to the forefront and to the world. And we are excited to do that, and we're not going to go back. You can't tell me that I'm less. So I'm here to say thank you to New Orleans. I'm a 7th, almost 10th generation New Orleanian. And music is so much important to our lives. So I want to also say this, in the way we go forward, we have to remember that for America to really be the land of the free and the home of the brave, we have to do great things together, not apart. We have to uplift our Jewish friends, uplift our Black friends, uplift our Latino friends, our Native American friends, our trans friends, everyone to be uplifted. So thank God for the arts, and we will not go back. Hands off the arts, the arts funding. Thank you.
One more time for Joanna Joseph. Everyone check out Opera Creole. They put on amazing shows. We have so many important educators here to talk to us today. Our next speaker is Erica Otero. She's a science teacher, a mom, and the VP of Political Action with UTNO. Everyone, give it up for Erica Otero.
Hey, everybody. I keep thinking if Cory Booker could speak for 25 hours, I surely can do 3 minutes. I'm a teacher, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed with what's happening in our country.
Hey, Frank.
Our country. Because my parents immigrated to this country and they did not do that in vain. I'm staying right here. And we're gonna fix this together. I have 3 close friends that have either lost their jobs or dangling over an unknown with bills to pay, families to feed, one of which is a veteran. 3 of my friends, Park Service, State Department, IRS, and if I have 3 people in this predicament, then we must all have co-workers, friends, family, significant others. I have students with parents and families in the same predicament, suffering this mess. Unnecessary mess. We have enough problems. This is upending everybody's lives for what? Tax cuts for the rich? We will not stand for this. We're here now. There is more of us than there is of them. Newsflash. Cutting people's jobs and upending their lives is no way to fix the economy or make the government more efficient. You need to tax the rich. Ask multi-billion-dollar private companies like oil and gas that are sinking our coastlines, polluting our air, giving people cancer from here to Baton Rouge. I'm coming out with knives, y'all. Give their fair share to the communities whose shoulders they stand on. Look at this past election. All across Louisiana, people said no, 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 no. They thought this would be an easy win. It was supposed to be a low voter turnout election. They thought that we would not read. They thought we would not organize. They think we're asleep. No, 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 no. We're tuned in now. They want to dismantle the Department of Education, which, let's be clear, does 3 big things. Provides funding for Title I schools, provides funding for special services, manages federal student loans, and let's not pretend like FAFSA came down from heaven, but federal loans qualify people like me for public loan forgiveness. The Institute of Museum and Library Services, the entire staff is on administrative leave. Limiting grants for the NIH by ordering human and health services to reduce spending. Our country is being run by privileged, greedy, corrupt bigots that have a problem with the Institute of Peace? With U.S. aid? They're threatening to withhold funds from Title I schools for DEI work. Let me be clear, making a child feel like they belong is inherent to how schools operate. A child cannot learn if they do not feel like they belong. A person cannot be productive if they do not feel like they belong. This is a mess. This is what happens when you have people in charge who have no clue what it's like to do the work day to day. But I believe that we will win if we stand together. So I believe that we will win. 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 So I leave you with one last rally cry. It's on my poster. And just keep in mind, for when changes are made without the participation of those affected by those changes, nothing about us without us. Thank you.
Erica Otero, everyone. We have more incredible educators to talk to you. The person coming to the stage next is a nationally board certified teacher and United Teacher of New Orleans member who has taught elementary special education for 16 years in the New Orleans area. She is a former candidate for the Jefferson Parish School Board and the Louisiana Board of Elementary and Secondary Education, and serves as an elected member on the Jefferson Parish Democratic Executive Committee and as a DSCC member for the Louisiana Democratic Party. She stays busy, everybody. Everyone, welcome Lauren Jewett!
Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to leave with what Erica said. I'm going to start off, nothing about us without us is for us. Today I stand before you on behalf of our students, our educators, our families, our schools, and our unions. Throughout my 16 years in the classroom, I have worked with kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade students. They all have various needs. Students with specific learning disabilities, students with autism, students with intellectual disabilities, students who are gifted, students who are twice exceptional, students who have developmental delays, other health impairments, emotional disabilities, and multiple disabilities, students who benefit from speech therapy, occupational therapy, social work, and wraparound services to address trauma. I grew up most of my adult life with an aunt with Down syndrome who benefited from disability rights policies. My nephews benefit from specialized services for their development and education. So between my profession and my family, the personal is political. I'm deeply concerned, as we all should be, about what will happen to my students with the recently announced changes to the Department of Education. I'm concerned about students not getting quality services or any services at all. I'm concerned about increased caseload sizes, increased classroom sizes. I'm concerned about funding for special education positions, especially our paraprofessionals who do some of the most important work in our schools. I'm concerned about our families of children with disabilities who have already advocated for so much only to be left navigating a corrupted and negligent system. While none of these things have directly impacted me in the classroom just yet, the worry is palpable. There's a worry because our student need is high and our educators are already burnt out, working sometimes 10, 11, 12, 13 hours a day. As a proud union member, I know that teacher working conditions are our students' learning conditions. And we won't accept this, and we say hands off our schools. So when I say hands off, You say our schools. Hands off. Our schools. Hands off. Our schools. Hands off. Our schools. A few weeks ago, a student asked me, hey, Miss Jewett, what's the Department of Education? We were working on a math test, but my student sometimes knows how to get me on a tangent. I asked the student, what prompted you to ask the question? He said, well, I heard they're trying to get rid of the Department of Education. I proceeded to explain some of the things that the Department of Education does. Funding for our schools, student loan programs, enforcing laws like IDEA that protect students with disabilities. I told my student that President Trump had recently issued an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. In the spirit of the tangent from the math test, I then started drawing a diagram on the board of the three branches of government and discussed what that meant if the Department of Education went away. He asked which branch was most powerful. I explained, well, there's supposed to be checks and balances. But people are really concerned about how these current executive orders are trying to usurp power. So my student basically summarized, he said, well, that behavior sounds like a tyrant. So my student is absolutely right. This is tyranny. We have a Secretary of Education who oversees special education law but doesn't understand it. We have special education services moving to the Department of Health and Human Services under RFK Jr., who has not been a friend to the autism community. Yep, he's not a friend to the autism community at all. We have direct attacks on public education. We have disempowering of our teachers' unions, who are there to help ensure our teachers are qualified and supported to support our students. And we already have a problem on the state level with special education. There's been 3 different legislative audits how we are not complying with special education. And one main thing our Department of Education handles is oversight. With the positions that have already been let go or people who have left, those are the people who investigate parent complaints about discrimination. We all should be deeply concerned. And so my calls to action are this. If you're a parent in the middle of trying to get your child an IEP, do not stop. Don't stop. If you're an educator who works in the classroom, keep loving and showing up for your students. Go to your school board meetings, demand answers, and run for office. Again, my name's Lauren Jewett, and again, hands off. Hands off. Thank you.
Lauren Jewett, everyone. One more time for the educators in this city working so hard every day. I hear you out here making noise. If you have a water bottle nearby, drink out of it right now. We can't fight if we're not hydrated. Remember, the med stations are at the corners, security's at the corners. You've been taking care of yourselves so well and each other. And I'm going to introduce a speaker next that needs no introduction. Everyone give it up for Representative Troy Carter.
Hello, everybody. A special thanks to all of the organizers behind me, because this would not happen without their leadership. Give them all a big round of applause. It's a balmy Saturday afternoon, and we're out here together to fight for our democracy, to fight for our rights, our freedom, the United States Constitution, and the rule of law. No one occupying the White House will erase our Constitution. No one occupying the White House will take away our rights. No one occupying the White House will take away our rule of law. Hashtag, we won't let them. I am proud to be your representative in the United States Congress. And I will tell you, although we're outvoted, Although the Republicans control the House, Senate, and the White House. Understand this, when we don't have a vote, we have our voice. And I'm going to tell you about 3 C's. And this is what we're going to keep doing, and a big part of the C's are you. The first C is the Congress. We're going to utilize every tool in our tool chest, whether it's the filibuster, whether it's procedural, whether it's trying to get just 3 Republican members to join us in the battle of being right, of being for freedom, to be for the American people. Regardless of your race, your background, your gender, or any other ism, we are humans. And we're not going to let some unelected billionaire think this is his newest toy. He may have spent $200 million, but he's going to get nothing for it because hashtag, we won't let him. We won't let him. Elon Musk, hands off our government. The second C is the courts. And we have been successful. We've pushed back, and we've had well over 100 lawsuits that have been filed. And we've been successful. We're going to continue to use our tools to go to the courts to get relief. And we have to push our members of the judiciary to be strong and to remind them to not be afraid of this guy who's threatening them. Our Constitution is stronger than any one person. And then our third C. First C, Congress. Second C, courts. Third C, community. Community. Coming together to have these kind of rallies. Coming together demonstrating that we're not going to sit back and watch our democracy dismantled by someone that doesn't love America or Americans, doesn't love humanity or humans. Just because you think trans shouldn't be here, you're not going to make them go away. Just because you think we shouldn't have a Department of Education, you're not going to make it go away. Just because you think our federal employees aren't worth saving their jobs, you're not going to make it go away. Just because you think people don't deserve to drink clean water and breathe clean air, we're not going to let you ruin our environment. But it's only going to happen when we all come together, Republican and Democrat. Because the issues that are facing our country, this clown doesn't care about anybody. When it was asked about the tariffs, which, by the way, stop calling them tariffs, they're taxes. And they're taxes that are going to be paid by the American people. He said, I couldn't care less about the price of cars because he couldn't care less about you. But today, I hope the media is playing all of this. All over the country, we're having these days of action where people are stepping up and saying, we won't let you. And I tell you what, this unlawful attempt to go after our immigrants and just picking them up just because they look a certain way, that's un-American. Hashtag, we won't let you. Hashtag, we won't let you. Hashtag, we won't let you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know how much I appreciate you. I'm going to get on the plane tomorrow, and I'm going to go back to Washington. And we're going to fight with every tool that we have. We're going to fight with all 3 C's. We're going to make sure that our health care is kept intact. We're going to make sure that our Social Security is kept intact. We're going to make sure that our Medicaid is kept intact. We're going to make sure they keep their hands off women's autonomy. And we're going to make sure they keep their hands off our free speech. You may not like what someone says says, but you can't deport them because you don't like it. You may not like a position someone's taking, but this is America. And one of the fundamental freedoms we have is the ability to disagree and to do so peacefully. And I applaud you for today, being together, standing together, working together, hands off Social Security, hands off Medicaid, hands off education, hands off firing all of our federal people. Let's stand together. Hashtag we won't let them. God bless you.
Try harder, everyone. One of the really beautiful things about today is the mix of politicians and citizens that have come to speak to this giant crowd. Our next speaker is a registered nurse who has worked in hospitals for over 42 years. She is the mother of Mark Alterman, who is a 33-year-old adult with Down syndrome. She would like to share what it means to Mark and her family if Medicaid benefits are cut. Everyone, a huge round of applause for Renee Alterman.
Hi, good evening. Can anybody hear me? So I'm here. My name's Renee. As she introduced you, I've been a nurse. I've been in hospitals. I've been around a long time with disabled people. And in 1991, my husband and I had a son named Mark, who is born with Down syndrome. Mark is now 33 years old. He lives with his parents in our home. Mark, I want to tell you a little bit about Mark. This is Mark. And Mark loves you all. Mark has a heart full of love. He is the most giving, loving person. He doesn't care the color of your skin, where you came from, what party you belong to, what state you vote for. He loves you and wants you to engage and like him back. That's him. That's who he is. We call Mark an empath because he has so much empathy and kindness and love to give everyone, no matter what they are or who they are. He loves each one of you. So, but what Mark does care about is his life and his activities with his friends and his group. And he gets that because Medicaid waiver allows him to go to Stark, which is a day program where he engages with his friends and they do music and art and they go on community outings and they have fun and they have parties and they go bowling. If Medicaid is cut, and we know it is not a theory, we know it is a reality, Mark's programs will not be the same. Mark's life will not be the same. And I know they're saying it is fraud, waste, and abuse, but Mark's life is not waste. He is not a waste. Mark is not a fraud. And we know who the abusers are. Yes, indeed. So please, advocate for everyone, for all of us, but advocate for those who don't have a voice like Mark, who we need to include in our discussions. All the disabled, all the unable to speak for themselves and stand up. Stand up for them all and for yourselves. Thank you for your time. And thank you for your presence and much gratitude from our family to you all.
Renee Alterman, everyone. This beautiful event today is a completely volunteer effort. So I want to say that we're so grateful to members of Indivisible NOLA, Metairie Indivisible, you can clap while I yell, yeah. Step Up Louisiana, Queer and Trans Community Action Project, Citizens for the Constitution, Union Migrante, who you heard before. Workplace Justice Project. Freedom Road Socialist Organization. And New Orleans for Community Oversight of Police. No cap. We want to thank everyone for all of their work. We'll have the call to action website, but some of these organizations, Step Up, Queer and Trans Community Action Project, Union Migrante, and Freedom Run Socialist Organization have tables here. Find them, give them money, sign their petitions. They are doing so much good work right here in our community. One more thank you for everyone who's made this event possible. Also, in the spirit of community, we have had a credit card turned into the Lost and Found. If your name is Virginia, come party over here. We have your thing. And we also still have an iPhone. It's a black iPhone in a clear case. Come say hi to our wonderful helpers here. With that all said, are we ready for more amazing speakers to rally us together? It is so impressive to see all of you cheering, and it is a joy to bring the next person to the stage. Everyone, the next speaker, Jay Braxton, is the president of the Young Democrats of Louisiana. Everyone, a huge round of applause for Jay Braxton.
Hey everybody, how we doing? So as she said, my name is Jay Braxton. I'm 22 years old and I am the president of the Young Democrats of Louisiana. Now, if you haven't heard of us just yet, I promise you soon you will. We just relaunched back in September and we've been working. We've been organizing with our state party, meeting local legislators, organizing with local organizations across the state and engaging our membership. But it's not just happening here. We're part of the Young Democrats of America, and we're making this action happen all across the nation. Sorry about that. So I want to talk about why we're really here today. We are in a national crisis, and we have to say that. Too many people in power like Donald Trump and Elon Musk have their hands in stuff that doesn't belong to them. And so we got a message from it. I want you to tell them, say, hands off. Hands off. Yeah, I love to hear it. Hands off our rights. Hands off our health care. Hands off our Medicaid. Hands off our public education. Hands off our future. And that's our message to them. And so, while we're out here today, too many of our other fellow Americans are failing to realize the danger that we're in. The Trump movement, and yes, I'm going to call it that, has become a vehicle for extremism and corruption. And like the great senator from New Jersey, Cory Booker, said as he held that Senate floor for over 25 hours a couple of days ago, he said this isn't a fight about right versus left, it's about right versus wrong. And I want to be clear, it's not just wrong because they're Republicans, it's wrong because it's un-American. That's why it's wrong. It's wrong for an unelected billionaire like Elon Musk, who controls the largest social media platform in the world, to be sitting beside the president, threatening lawmakers if they dare to disagree. That's not democracy, that's authoritarianism. It's wrong for Donald Trump to demand blind loyalty from his cabinet if they dare to dissent that threaten him with Elon Musk's billions of dollars to primary them. That is wrong. That is not how America works. That is not how government works. And they want us to be afraid. They want us all out here to be confused, not know where to go. But what they forget is that Americans have never backed down from a fight for what is right. We have never. And speaking of Americans, they'll probably try to fool you with their American First scam. It is a lie. That's what it is. Because if you truly cared for Americans, you wouldn't be threatening veterans benefits or Social Security. You wouldn't be threatening federal jobs or public education. That is not America first. That is putting Americans last. This is the biggest fraud of the century, stealing from our Americans, our citizens, our children, our veterans, our elderly. This is not America first. This is billionaires first, and we see right through it. But we know better. We know what to do. It's what we're doing now. We have to mobilize, we have to organize, and we have to fight like hell, and we will continue to do it. We are fighting for our rights. We are fighting for Social Security. We are fighting for Medicare and Medicaid. We are fighting for our veterans. We are fighting for our children. We are fighting for Americans. That's what we're fighting for. And I know it feels daunting and so much, but from the women's suffrage movement to the civil rights movement, from the LGBTQ movement to the fight for fair labor rights, we have never stopped and we will never quit fighting for what is right. That is the American thing to do and the way we have always done it. So, we have to keep moving forward, and before I gotta get a quick selfie. You know, I'm a young person. I gotta get a quick selfie with everybody. For my comms director. If you're over here, give a quick smile for me. Back here too, let's see it, y'all. And let's hear some chants. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. I love y'all. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep up the work.
Y'all were in that selfie.
Jack Braxton, everybody! We have another amazing speaker coming to the stage. Katie Schwartzman is the inaugural director of Tulane University's First Amendment Law Clinic. And she previously served as the legal director of the American Civil Liberties Union here in Louisiana. Very important, and she's done so much more. Everyone, please welcome Katie Schwartzman.
Hi everybody, it's amazing to see so many people out here.
Yeah.
I need to say at the outset that I'm here in my personal capacity and I do not speak on behalf of my employer. I'm here to talk to you all as a longtime First Amendment lawyer and a person that cares a lot about the Constitution in Louisiana specifically. I was asked to talk about higher education specifically, and I want to focus on, oh sorry, how's that? Is that better? Okay, oh sorry, okay. The reason why we have higher education in this country is for the express purpose of seeking knowledge and exchanging new ideas and creating and innovating and moving our social dialogue and our political dialogue and our science and arts forward. Those are places, college campuses are places that are set aside for this exchange of ideas and the testing of old ideas. And specifically in college classrooms and on college campuses, we should be engaging in each other's ideas and dissenting. Our universities and their classrooms have played this role in our country for years. It's been an integral part of some of the most important social movements in this country, from the civil rights movements to the anti-war movements to the free speech movements. Our college campuses have literally changed the course of American history. And right now, we're living through an unprecedented attack on those spaces. President Trump is threatening and has pulled federal funds from any university that allows what he determines illegal protests. And to quote him, the way he defines that, he says, agitators will be imprisoned and or permanently sent back to the country from which they came. And American students will be permanently expelled, or, depending upon the crime, arrested. So this is the President of the United States instructing private universities that students are to be permanently expelled or arrested for protest? For speech? And the effect of that, of course, is exactly what you would think. Students are terrified. People are terrified to speak. And in addition to the crackdown on protest and the deportation of students and faculty members, the administration's attacks reach into the classrooms of our colleges and universities. They touch classroom content, research decisions. Some topics have been flagged as forbidden, too controversial. The administration has already cut off billions of dollars in funding, which has ground critical research to a halt. And it's targeting, targeting specific universities with billions of dollars in threats unless the administration's demands are met. And this has led to universities falling into compliance, right? So we see universities overhauling student disciplinary procedures, banning student protest. Adopting conduct codes, speech codes, using campus police to surveil students, clamping down on areas of research. Just yesterday, the administration issued a new list of demands to Harvard that demands that Harvard clarify its free speech policies, review certain departments, change their admissions and DEI policies. And we need to be clear-eyed about what this is. It's not about higher education. It's about punishing and criminalizing dissent from whatever corner it comes. And we know that that's what this is about, because at the same time that we're seeing this attack on higher education, we're seeing an attack on lawyers and law firms and the fabric of our federal courts, all of which are necessary to the defense of student protesters, faculty academic freedom, all of you. We are witnessing the silencing of dissent through intimidation. And one of our most sacred values as a nation is that you can speak your mind without fear that you'll be arrested or locked up or deported. It is critical to the fabric of our democracy that the government cannot tell you what ideas you can discuss, what topics you can explore, or whether you can dissent. One of the most critical places for that exchange of ideas and for that dissent are our college campuses and universities. So hands off our universities.
Katie Schwartzman, everyone. Coming up next, we have Kaylee McCarthy, who is a PhD student in history at Tulane University. Her research analyzes surveillance in the early 20th century U.S. Everyone give it up for Kaylee McCarthy!
Hello! I am so honored to be here, and I am so proud of all of you for coming out and standing here today. This is history. Today, I want to call on my fellow students, those who are currently in schools, universities, and colleges. I want to call also on my fellow students of life, those of any age, any educational and political background. As you are aware, we are experiencing a period of chaos and uncertainty. However, while this chaos and uncertainty are so clearly visible at the very top, we must recognize the ways that it extends downwards. As an American student, I am here to lift the voices of my friends, my international student colleagues. They come to campus each day with a nagging fear that something they say, something they do, something they research could be grounds for retribution. And as you all are aware, fear is not conducive to learning. Today, I call on my fellow students and students of life. We cannot be complacent. We cannot stay silent. We cannot remain hidden behind screens. History is watching. As war broke out in September of 1939, and the threat against democracy reached unprecedented levels, millions responded to the call to defend democracy. Like many Americans, my grandfathers were in that number. My grandfather, Leo, was drafted into the Navy and shipped out for training before he could attend his own high school graduation. For the rest of his life, he was proud to tell his grandchildren that he fought fascism. In the spring of 1961, student activists boarded buses in Washington, D.C., bound to ride to New Orleans. The goal, to protest the segregation of interstate buses. In South Carolina and Alabama, the riders faced violent opposition. Nonetheless, they persisted. Within the year, segregation of interstate buses was ruled illegal. We cannot be complacent. History is watching. We must remember the freedom fighters and the freedom riders. Today, I call on my fellow students and students of life. We must fight. Apathy is our own worst enemy. We must defend democracy. We must defend our constitutional rights, especially the First Amendment. We must defend our educational institutions, our schools, our universities. We must defend our international and immigrant brothers and sisters. We must defend history, and we must make history. Today, I call on my fellow students and my fellow students of life to help channel the energy from today's protest. So I hope you can help me out a little bit. For the following questions, I ask you to respond with hands off. What do we say when threats are made against our international and immigrant brothers and sisters? What do we say when threats are made against our schools and universities? What do we say when fascists try to rewrite history? What do we say when our democracy is threatened? Hell yes! Today we fight for democracy. We are making history to be proud of. Thank you.
Hey, everyone! The next speaker we have coming to the stage is a senior at Loyola University with an environmental studies major and sociology and Latin American minors. Everyone give it up for Natalia Arredondo!
Hello everyone. I'm Natalia and I am not here to talk on Loyola University. I am here to talk on LUNO SDS, Liberate and Unite New Orleans Students for a Democratic Society. And as a student and as a daughter of immigrants, I have began to see the effects of all these executive orders by fascist Trump that he has done. I've seen firsthand how the Department of Education has begun to investigate colleges for anti-Semitism. And it's not because they care about anti-Semitism. It's because they care about pro-Palestinian sentiments and they want to push it down. Anytime someone speaks up against anything that Trump does not support, he wants to shut it down. Their attacks on freedom of speech have perpetuated by the universities that fear up against this fascist government. So at Tulane, they got rid of DEI. They also gave conduct violations to 7 students for peacefully protesting off campus. At Loyola, they suspended a student because he said he was part of an org that wasn't registered. The reason he was suspended is because he was talking about how the ships here, the ports in New Orleans, how they send stuff to Israel, and he was trying to convince him to not do that, but there was some Loyola administration that was there, and she didn't like what he was saying, so he got suspended, and he was supposed to graduate in May. Loyola also put students on probation for protesting on private property, even though the court of law found them not guilty. When I say not guilty, you say not sorry. Not guilty. Not sorry. Not guilty. Not sorry. Hell yeah. Universities across the country are scared to oppose racist, xenophobic Trump as he starts to take away people's visas and green cards for speaking up against these imperialist countries. There was a student that wanted to talk here today, but he's an immigrant student and he's scared of what the Trump administration is going to do against him. We have seen what they're doing and how they're sending people to places that they're not even from. That's just racism. Students on visas are scared to speak their mind, and rightfully so, in fear of being deported with no due process. Does that sound democratic to you? Does that sound American to you? Universities should be protecting their students, their freedom of speech, and their immigration status. The university has given one of Loyola's students information to a cop, and the cop literally arrested them outside of class. Instead, they are scared of the administration and fear of losing their money. It's not like they're a private university or anything. But it's us, the students united and the people united, that will help each other in these hard times. If you are a student, join an SDS chapter. We are Students for a Democratic Society. It's a national organization. Anytime you hear about protests, it's probably us. You guys should follow us on Instagram, Luno SDS. Please show up to our protests. We need as much help as we can get. We're having one on Monday. Y'all know Amy Coney Barrett? She helped overturn Roe v. Wade. She's coming to Loyola Law School to speak. Is she welcome here? So Monday, 9:30, I want to see all of y'all at Loyola Law School, please. If you're a college student and you want to know how to start an SDS, if you don't have one on your campus, come talk to me. I have these flyers, I can help you. Because the administration isn't going to help us. The federal government isn't going to help us. The administration are scared to speak up for us. So it's only students that are going to speak up for you. And SDS, we're not scared to speak up for you. Thank you, and keep organizing and keep finding places and people to help.
Natalia! As we look to our future today, if you are missing your wired rim glasses, we have them. They're at the lost and found table over here. Please come grab them. Our next speaker has been a professor for over 40 years. I'm so excited to hear her speak. Give it up for Professor of Epidemiology, Dr. Patricia Kissinger.
For being here. It's such an exciting and energizing event. Who cares about health? Guess what? Public health is under attack. Completely under attack. Every agency, CDC, NIH, FDA, USAID, all of these and their related agencies have in their tracks. Drug development, essential drug development that's going to help you and me, has been halted. Life-saving health prevention, like tuberculosis control and HIV, it's only going to mutate, y'all. It's only going to get worse. This is the worst idea ever. All in the name of saving money. Well, it's so short-sighted because guess what? We're going to pay for it one way or the other. We're going to pay for it now, we're going to pay for it later. So I say, let's have some prevention now so we don't have to worry about it later. The U.S., who used to be leaders in health and innovation, are now falling way behind. And this initiative is going to make it even worse. So, y'all, I've been doged. 3 of my grants, doged, terminated. Because we wanted to give STD care to young African American kids to remove health disparities. And their AI algorithm canceled us. The other study wanted to look at impacts and LGBTQ plus individuals. They canceled us because they don't like LGBTQ plus. The government doesn't care about these groups. We need to care about them, and we need to speak for them. These are vulnerable individuals, and so we need to speak up to them. Public health roles to educate the public. Guess what they did? CDC was told to take every single website down, and so that they could scrub it of words that they don't like. Well, guess what? I like those words, and I want them to put them back, and I pay tax. There should be no room in government for bigotry. There's no room for bigotry. Our grants were terminated simply because some partisan rules. I had another grant where we were collecting specimens for COVID research in the future. We have no funds now to keep those specimens, and they're being destroyed right now as we speak. By the way, y'all's taxpayer money's paid for that. DOGE is also trying to take away a thing called indirect cost. Indirect cost is essential for all universities that do research or all entities that do research to keep the infrastructure alive. If you don't have the primate center, if you don't have laboratories, if you don't have clinics, if you don't have the staff that's allied staff around it, those things can't happen. So if they take away indirect costs, universities will close. Young people will not be trained. I have trouble right now because I have about 20 students that I'm trying to fit into community-based organizations to give them internships. Those community-based organizations are reeling. They've lost money. They're closing. So many different projects have been completely closed. So it's really a problem. As I mentioned before, HIV, measles, tuberculosis, it doesn't have borders. It doesn't know what your political affiliation is. These things are going to come back with a vengeance. We need to collab. We need to get back with the World Health Organization. How ridiculous is that? Those are our allies. Those are what we can work with. SARS-CoV-2, guess what? There was a SARS-CoV-1, there was a SARS-CoV-2. Guess what? There's probably going to be a SARS-CoV-3. It's going to happen, so we better be prepared for it. And so taking away all this infrastructure is just short-minded. It's really terrible. So we need leaders to stand up and say something, do something. And so I encourage the legislators, our Louisiana legislators under Troy Carter is on our side, but I need all the legislators to stand up to those folks and say, stop the cuts. Yeah. Hands up, public health! 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 Hands up! Thank you so much. Dr. Patricia Kissinger! Coming up next, we have Victor Pizarro.
He's already got friends in the crowd. He's a local New Orleanian with a lifelong passion for the culture, the people, and the sacred traditions of this rare and endangered place. Over the past 3 decades, he has organized and worked with a variety of equity projects, and he is currently working on the Healthy Hospitality Project. Yes, give it up for our hospitality workers in New Orleans. The Healthy Hospitality Project aims to help members of the hospitality industry gain access to health care. Everyone give it up for Victor Pizarro!
Hey everybody. I really haven't planned anything, but you know, we're gonna go for it. I do want to give y'all a message, not only of solidarity and resistance, but of hope. Because there is a lot of good things happening. That wasn't right. But there are a lot of good things happening in our place, and because of our culture, and because of how unique we are. And one of the things I want to tell you, my personal narrative, I'm born and raised, I'm a New Orleanian. I've always been interested in equity, and I've done a lot of work in that vein, but what financed a lot of that work was working in the hospitality industry. And I've done it all. I've worked for fine dining, for the dive bars, for, you know, I was a limo driver, a bellman, a busboy, but it did give me a certain aspect of freedom and, you know, just leave, travel for a while, come back in another one. But one of the things that I've always noticed, because of my unique identity, is, well, I'll explain that. I'm queer. I grew up in St. Bernard Parish. I went to the right schools, and I'm also, you know, of Creole Latino descent. But uniquely amongst my family, I'm the most white passing and white privileged person. So I've always had this perspective that I was treated very differently than my brother, my close relatives. And having that unique privilege and awareness gave me the perspective that I have today. And what I will tell you is that in a quest for equity, I have always believed that collectively we can and will do more. And unfortunately, under late stage capitalism and under our current administration, we are persuaded and pushed to be individualized and not act collectively. But there is resistance to this. And the resistance lies within us. I consider myself a New Orleanian first and an American well after that. We were here for a lot longer. And through oppression, through plantation culture, through racism, and through everything we have fought against, we have learned lessons. We have learned that we are greater together than separate. And what I can tell you is this: within even the most programmatic government structures, locally, on the state level, federally, there are incredible people, radical people, working for equity within these structures, within the Louisiana Department of Health, which tells us that we can no longer recommend vaccines in this state. Within, even on the federal level, the same structures that push to ruin our health, shorten our lives, maximize the profit that they can make from our bodies and our labor for the ruling classes and the oligarchy, there are good people working to change this. And working with the Healthy Hospitality Project, which rose from resistance, from protest at New Orleans and Company and within the city council, and was mandated by the city in 2019, what I can tell you is, even within the medical structures, which can sometimes be oppressive, there are people working to give access to care, and I'm one of those people. And you know what? I have a really broad term of who works in the hospitality industry. And what I will tell you is, if they want to say that we have a cultural economy, then we all work in the hospitality industry. So, if you are part of this culture and you need access to healthcare, come see me. I will give you my phone number. We will do what we can to make it right and to give you the access. Living in this place can be mentally oppressive. We face a lot of challenges and we have a lot of joy. I've been in mass shootings. I've seen some of the most horrible violence. I've also experienced the most joy that I ever have. Thankfully, we have carnival culture. And I will also say that within those structures, the people working to do it right are often hidden and tucked away, so do not lose hope. There are a lot of us working to provide equity and to push for collective action. It's so amazing to see so many of you out here today, and there are so many of us, even those of us with privilege and access. I have health care, but I'm not going to leave any of you behind. You know, that's the hope I want to give you. Even when times seem darkest, there are so many of us that are quieted and silenced, and we are doing the work, even within the oppressive structures. So I want you to know to keep loving, keep fighting, and to stand up for each other and for all of us. Y también para la comunidad latina. Aquí estamos y estaremos siempre para soportarlos y tener una cultura que acepta a toda la comunidad. Thank you so much, y'all.
Victor Pizarro, everyone. The next person coming to the stage has been an advocate for people with disabilities and seniors for over 40 years. As director of a statewide legal services program, everyone, a huge round of applause for Lois Simpson.
Good afternoon. I wish you could all be up on the stage because it really is impressive to look out and see the crowd. It's huge. As was stated, I have been involved with advocacy for people with disabilities for a long, long time. I retired almost 9 years ago, but I still keep up with what's going on. And what's going on right now is pretty bad.
You good.
Is that better? Yeah. All right. Back in the day, when the civil rights movement was young, the parents of kids with disabilities fought and fought and fought for their rights. And in 1975, IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, was passed by the U.S. Congress. Prior to that time, people with disabilities were often told to just go home. Judy Heumann, one of the stalwart leaders of the disability rights movement, who is about my age, she passed away the last couple of years, but she was told back in the 50s that she could get 2 days of in-home instruction because she couldn't get into the schoolhouse. So we've made some progress because now kids can get into the schoolhouse, but I'm worried if they're dismantling the U.S. Department of Education, which oversees IDEA, we're in trouble. They want to send it back to the states. We've had to fight the state for years to get the appropriate services for for kids with disabilities. Later on, in 1990, many of you will remember that the Americans with Disabilities Act was passed, ADA. George Bush Sr. signed it into law. That's how much things have changed. A Republican president signed it into law. Basically, what the ADA says is you cannot discriminate against people with disabilities because of their disability. It's that simple. Now, the law is great, but it's only as great as the people who fight to make sure that it's implemented. And that's what so many people around the country have done year after year after year. And now I'm worried because the Trump administration has done away with the Office of Civil Rights in DHHS, and that's where you start your fight. That's where you file your complaints. Who's going to hear those complaints? Somebody said, one of the other speakers said, you know, trust in the justice system, go to the courts. That's getting harder and harder too. We have a very conservative Fifth Circuit right over here, and advocates are fearful of bringing a case there because they could be making bad law. So, what do we have left? We have our voices, all of you, and hopefully many, many more who couldn't make it here today. And we have to keep advocating for services and supports for people with disabilities, senior citizens, and others. Now, in this new Republican budget that they're trying to push through, we're sure Medicaid is going to be cut. They're talking about block grants, they're talking about capitalization, I mean, so much money for each person who gets Medicaid. This is not new. They've been talking about block grants for decades, but we've always been able to fight it off. You go to the legislature, you call your Congress. I hope we can still do that, but given the complexion of the U.S. Congress right now, I worry about that. So we have to keep the pressure on our congressmen, our senators from Louisiana. I write to them all the time. I hope you do too. They usually get back to me and say something like I wrote to John Kennedy about the defunding of public media, and he got back and said, well, they're too biased. That's why I want to get rid of their funding. Well, I don't agree with that, and I'm going to keep writing to them, and they'll get tired of hearing from me, and I hope you do it too. It's easy. So, in closing, let me just say, hands off Medicaid. It's serving too many people. 1.6 million Louisianans depend on Medicaid for their health care. People with disabilities and seniors depend on Medicaid to keep them out of nursing homes and get services in their own homes. Hands off all of that. Thank you.
Lois Simpson, everyone. A thing you can do today is save your representatives' numbers in your phone so you can bother them every day at the touch of a button. The next speaker coming to the stage is a nurse at University Medical Center. Give it up for nurses! And a National Nurses United Bargaining Committee member. Everyone, a huge round of applause for Terry McGillis!
Wow. Look to your right. Look to your left. That's where our power is coming from. It's good to see good trouble. She said, my name is Terry McGillis. I'm a registered nurse at University Medical Center, and I have served this community for 47 years. I am a proud member of the mighty National Nurses United Union. And it was our desire at UNC for us to make sure we do safe, quality health care, that the nurses fought for our right to join the union, the first in the private hospital in the state of Louisiana. As union nurses, we have fought and continue to fight for Medicare for all. Healthcare is a human right. Healthcare injustice is inhumane. We deserve healthcare, all of us. We nurses are protectors of public health and advocates for our patients. We know through both science and experience that health is not just about feeling good or disease. It's about our jobs, our communities, our families, and the support systems we rely on. We can't fight if we're too sick. Those include Medicaid, those support systems are Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, food stamps, the Department of Health and Hospitals, the Veterans Administration, which provides health care to those who sacrificed so much for our country. Right now, those support systems are under attack. The current administration wants to weaken and privatize those programs that have helped millions of people stay housed and cared for. Without these programs, our most vulnerable seniors, our individuals with disabilities, low-income families, and veterans will surely suffer. Yes, they will. I think they're thinning the herd. I think that's what their plan is, but we're not having it. And while they're attacking social programs, they are also stripping away at the production and the protection of union rights from all workers, including our important federal workers, that keeps our communities, our cities, our states, and our federal government going. And this is also for our sisters and brother nurses at the VA hospital. And while they're attacking social programs, let's be clear. Why is the current administration doing this? They don't believe in a society where we take care of each other. They want a society where wealthy and powerful get rich while the rest of us struggle. They say people should be responsible for themselves when at the same time they're handing out tax cuts and incentives to their billionaire friends and corporations. Let's be clear, our nation's public programs were created for a reason. During times of struggle, like the Great Depression, World Wars, the Vietnam War, during times when our economic system failed everyday people. Seniors were dying in poverty, veterans were struggling and left without care, and millions of Americans lacked basic services. This is where Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security were created. We will not go back. And you know what? This administration knows these programs are popular. It knows the voters don't want this to happen. And they don't have a plan to just suddenly strip it. Their plan is to turn these public programs into million-making systems for private corporations. They're trying to pave the way for their billionaire besties to skim money off of the top. I got news for them, though. At some point in their life, they got to come across a nurse. For example, they want to create a program that might help seniors manage their Social Security, of course, for a fee. How do they justify doing this? First, they have to break the system. They slash funding, cut staff, and change policies until the program no longer properly functions. Then private corporations swoop in, offering to fix it for a profit. We've seen this after Katrina. We know what it looks like. We can't let this happen. Hands off! We must stand up for a society that values people over profit. That's our fight at UMC, the only level 1 trauma center. We make sure our patients are taken care of, no matter what the corporation says. We must fight to protect these public programs, and we must fight to protect our unions. We need to tell them, hands off our workers, our seniors, our communities, our patients, our veterans. We all depend on this. Hands off our public services and hands off our union rights. On April 22nd, the amazing Step Up Louisiana, who has been an amazing partner for us, will be holding a press conference at Galveston Canal in front of the hospital at 10 a.m. Please join them so we could show LCMC, UMC, who spends millions of dollars in CEO salaries while giving nurses a 48 cents an hour raise, or no raise. We will show them that we want experienced nurses to stay at the bedside. And if there are any nurses here today, if you are a nurse, please come to the speaker table if you are interested in becoming part of this fight. We will not bend, we will not bow down, we will not break.
The next speaker we have coming to the stage is a rank and file Teamster working at UPS and a member of the Freedom Road Socialist Organization. Everyone give it up for Jack Saucier!
Hello everybody, it is an honor to be speaking to you guys right here today. This is a beautiful day to be speaking, a little windy, but my name is Jack Saucier. I am a proud rank and file Teamster, and I am a proud member of the Freedom Road Socialist Organization. Now, we're trying to build a broad united front where we unite as many people as possible to fight Trump, all right? So in order to do that, I'm gonna need to ask you guys some questions and get to know you guys, all right? So, if I ask a question and you kind of understand, you vibe with what I'm saying, I need everybody to give me a big "we are" and clap your hands while you do it. We are. We are. We are. We are. So, who here is tired of opening up their phone and checking all the horrible news? Who here is tired of learning all the new ways the government is excited to spring into action and oppress everybody? Who here is sick of these billionaires pillaging everything that we don't bolt down with 10 nails? This is ridiculous. These guys, they're trying to profit off of social interaction. They're trying to make it so that when I text my mom, Elon Musk is saying, how do I profit off that? It's ridiculous. These attacks on working people by these vultures, it certainly isn't new. In 1982, the air traffic controllers went on strike. This was a devastating loss to the labor movement where 11,000 people lost their bargaining rights. Shame. The recent decertification of Trump has cost over 700,000 people their bargaining rights. And let me ask you, who are the people who won these victories in the first place? Who won the victories in the first place? In 2010, Wisconsin passed Act 11, stripping all public sector unions of their bargaining rights. The public rose up, and they even occupied the state capitol. They showed everybody who's got the power, and who's the people with the power. Who's the people with the power? Say it so that everybody, so Trump can hear it all the way in Washington. Who has the power? Who's the ones with the power? ICE has recently started arresting union activists, and we know why. It's because when the immigrants and the workers stand together and fight, there is nothing that can stop us, all right? So I ask, who's going to be with me and build in our communities a broad united front to fight these attacks? Who is going to stand shoulder to shoulder with everyone who can be united and fight? Who's going to fight on the shop floor? Who's going to fight in the streets? Who's going to be fighting when they wake up? Who's going to be fighting when they go to sleep? Who's going to stand with the workers? Who's going to fight these creeps? Who's going to be not an ally but an accomplice to the immigrants? Who's going to make this system bleed? So one last time, who's gonna fight? We are. Who's gonna win? We are. Who's gonna fight? We are. Who's gonna win? We are. Who's gonna fight? We are. Who's gonna win? We are. The people united will never be defeated. I said the people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. So fired up a little bit. I'm going to bring this back to some concrete action because that's what we are all about. We're about taking things into action. On May 1st, May Day, International Workings Day, we are going to be standing for workers and immigrants' rights at 6 p.m. at the Benito Juarez statue. It's going to be a massive march, and I expect to see every single face here, all right? Every single one. I remember all your faces, and I'm going to be disappointed if you're not there. Also, if you want to join the fight, not just to defeat Trump, but also to provide a new future for society, to build socialism in this country, go to frso.org/join. Join up, unite with us. We're here. We want to build everything that we can build, and we really want to fight Trump because this guy sucks. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Yeah!
Freedom Road Socialist Organization! Our next speaker, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? All right. Our next speaker comes from Step Up, Louisiana. Everyone, a huge round of applause for Mrs. Novella Ussery. Keep clapping! Thank you. Is that better? Can everybody hear me now? Yeah. So great to be here with such a great group of people. This is just amazing to see so many people out for such a good cause. We are here because our president wants us to think that we work for him. No, does he work for him? Do we work for him? No. We, the people of the United States, are his employer. And we are here to let him know that we have had enough of all that we are going through on all of his. Every time he signs an executive order, I want to punch him in the face, but you know, that's a whole different thing. Mr. Musk and our president will have us believe that the Social Security that we have all worked for, all of us retirees out here, let me hear you. Is our Social Security a handout? No. Is our Social Security welfare? No. We have worked hard, each and every one of us, decade after decade, putting into this system, and the United States promised us that when we put it in, we will be able to get out. Now we have this immigrant, ignorant billionaire coming here telling us that what we are receiving is a handout. It is too much, that our government should have never promised us that kind of money. Who does he think he is? Are we going to stand by and allow him to cut our Social Security? What are we going to say? Hands off! Hands off, Mr. Musk. Hands off, Mr. President. We are not going to stand around while you take what we have worked hard for. Not only is he trying to take away our Social Security, but then he wants to mess with Medicaid and Medicare. They tell us that they're not going to cut our Medicaid and our Medicare, but you cut every program that is associated with Medicaid and Medicare, and then you tell us, I didn't cut Social Security or Medicaid. But if you cut the program that is used by elders and seniors to pay for their utility bills, and they no longer have that money to count on, what do you think that is? Is that not cutting our check? Because now we have to use our check that we used to have
utilities paid for, we have to use that money now to pay for our own bills. If we didn't have the money before, when you were claiming you were giving us all of this money, how are we going to have it now that we have to pay utility bills and prescription bills and all of the other bills that y'all just keep piling on and piling on? We are not going to stand for it. Hands off, Mr. President. And besides that, they are also trying to tell us that there is not going to be a recession. There's not going to be a recession. The tariffs or the taxes that he keeps raising, that's not going to have any effect on you. Or if it has an effect, it's going to be a small pain. What the hell is a small pain? Pain is pain. I don't go to the doctor and they say, oh, because you have a small pain, we're only going to charge you a little bit. Pain is pain, and we are all going to feel it if we allow him to keep writing all these executive orders that takes away all of our rights. We have to say, hands off, Mr. President. Hands off. 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 Our president, in his ultimate wisdom, has Mr. Elon Musk, which nobody can tell us what he does or why he's there, besides the fact that he has a lot of money and Donald Trump likes to be around a lot of money. But we know that not only is Mr. Trump and Mr. Elon doing what they're doing, but those people, all of those senators and those congressmen in Washington are acting like they don't work for us either. Our hard tax dollars say that, yes, you do work for us and you need to get up, do your job, and stop this madness that they are causing in our lives. We are here today because each and every one of us believes that we live in a country that is worth fighting for. We're here because we know that the rights that were fought so hardly for in each and every one of our lives is important. It is important that my family fought for human rights, that my community fought for civil rights, that our community fought for immigration rights, that we fought for all of these rights that they are just taking for granted that we don't even need. So I'm asking each and every person here today to not only stand here today, here in this congregation, but when you leave here, do something. Call your congressman, call your senator, call your mayor, call the governor of this great state of Louisiana and let them know enough is enough and we're not going to stand for it anymore. Hands off! Hands off! Hands off! Hands off! Hands off! Hands off! I am from Step Up, Louisiana, and our motto is when we fight, we win.
Novella Ushery, everyone. The next speaker we have coming to the stage is a U.S. Navy veteran and a UAW union worker organizer. Everyone give it up for Cody Kaiser.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Cody Kaiser. I'm a U.S. Navy submarine veteran. Shout out to the USS Pennsylvania, where I served from 2010 to 2015. I want to speak a little bit about Veterans Affairs. A couple years after I got out, the VAMC here in New Orleans saved my life. They provided life-saving care that would have cost me 6 figures under the exploitative U.S. healthcare system. And I understand that as veterans suffer VA healthcare losses, the suffering of the U.S. working class is even worse. For those reasons and many other, just pure dissatisfaction, I organized my coworkers into the UAW Local 1921. Shout out UAW. Shout out unions. So I want to thank everybody who arranged this. I love the energy of the Democratic community organizations here in New Orleans and across the country. There's a lot of energy to do something different. It's my personal opinion that as long as Citizens United remains as a legal corruption device, the U.S. Is ruled by an oligarchy, not a democracy. And as long as union busting continues, we do not have workplace nor economic democracy. It's also my belief that capitalist corruption has led us to this continued austerity. If we embrace democracy, there's something better on the other side. I just wanted to leave y'all, since I'm coming up from the veteran bench, quote from a gentleman named Smedley Butler. He was one of the most decorated U.S. Marine Corps veteran, and in the 1930s, he stood up for the bonus army, or before the 30s. Here's what he had to say about war. War is a racket. It always has been. It is possibly the oldest, easily the most profitable, surely the most vicious. It is the only one international in scope. It is the only one in which the profits are reckoned in dollars and the losses in lives. Thank you. And the question for everybody after we get up and leave and sleep and everything is, where do we go from here? That's right. There are so many great community organizations out today. I hope that you do not leave here empty-handed or without a phone number or a meeting to go to. In addition to that, everybody who can should unionize. And in addition, here in New Orleans, we have some upcoming municipal elections. These community organizations have done great work to get, people elected who are separate from corporate donor money, and keep a lookout for those progressive candidates. I think it's going to be an interesting election cycle. With that, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks for everyone involved.
Cody Kaiser! The next speaker coming to the stage is Leroy Konish. He's a farmer and musician. He graduated from Louisiana Central's esteemed Beginning Farmer program. He has advocated for farmers in D.C. and sold thousands of pounds of healthy, fresh food in his community. Everyone, a huge round of applause for Leroy Konish!
Good afternoon. I see a lot of signs out there, and there seems to be a general purpose and a solidarity among us. And this is something that has to continue. It has to go beyond just showing up to the park. It has to come into action. And let me hear you say one time, action now. Action now. That's exactly what we need. My name is Leroy Konish. My wife Gail and I are farmers, and our daughter Honore. We own and operate River Road Farm in Vacherie, Louisiana. It's also known as a significant part of Cancer Alley. So, you know, we have to deal with the petrochemical issues and environment. So as being a farmer, it goes beyond just growing food. It goes to the government and policies and public administration that's put forward that is crippling our system. So this is where we have to start at the local level. And we provide fresh Louisiana, locally grown produce to food banks. Give it up for the food banks, the restaurants, and surrounding communities. We also provide workshops and farmer training seminars to educate individuals and groups interested in food production. Okay, now we have a whole lot of problems that we're talking about today, but my focus is on solutions. And we can do this if we start to address issues at a local level and not shy away from the red rural communities, because those communities are the easiest targets that you can ever have, because the ordinances and the ignorance that's there is prevailing, and we can get beyond that, especially in the local governments and the state level as well. You know, I know you all are big Jeff Landry fans, right? All right, see, that's what I'm saying. So anytime we got somebody who's more concerned about putting Bibles in a classroom than putting food on the table, we got a problem. The funding freezes and cancellations in 2025 has created crippling challenges for farmers and nonprofits that have used these funds and investments to help support and create sustainable farming operations, strengthen regional food supplies, and provide healthy food options to our most vulnerable communities. There's nearly $4.8 billion in frozen or canceled investment projects that strengthen rural economies and advance conservation is now uncertain, despite many having already been awarded. And I'm sure some of you have heard about some of the farmers who have already started projects and can't get reimbursed. Well, I'm one of them, and I'm mad. And I want you to be mad too. But the most important thing about this is we have the power. And I need you to say, we have the power. We have the power. And what are we going to do with the power? We are going to use it to get those bums out of office and to get rid of the problems that are created by individuals who have no concern for any of us as individual citizens. And let us look at what goes on in the Department of Agriculture, which was created in 1862, and it was supposedly to help create the westward expansion of the United States and create a nation of farmers. However, it created a nation of large landowners who were primarily cattle farmers, primarily railroad owners, and guess what? Slave owners. So that's where all the land went. So now we move on to USDA 2025. They're canceling programs that were designed to build capacity among farmers and also help create food security in communities, such as the Louisiana Food Purchase Agreement, LFPA, and also equip programs which were designed to help farmers build capacity again. Now I have 1 minute left. Okay, in that 1 minute, this is what we're going to do. You're going to say hands off when I give you a topic. Food banks. Hands off. USDA program. Hands off. LFPA. Hands off. Constitutional rights. Hands off. Healthcare. Hands off. Women bodies. Hands off. Planned Parenthood. Hands off. Healthy food choices. Hands off. Environments. Hands off. Farm grants. Hands off. Medicare. Hands off. Social Security. Hands off. Education. Hands off. And hands off me and my property.
Leroy Cornish, everyone! The next speakers coming to the stage are Joe Banner and Dr. Joy Banner, and they are co-founders and co-directors of the Descendants Project, a nonprofit foundation committed to the liberation of the Black descendant community through the dismantling of inequitable and discriminatory economic, environmental, and social systems inherent in the violent legacies of slavery. Everyone, keep clapping. clapping. Get louder for Joe Banner and Dr. Joy Banner.
And yes, we're related. Good afternoon, everybody. We are from St. John the Baptist Parish, Joe and Joy, right next to Mr. Leroy. And we are here because we want to tell everyone that wants to take down river parishes and our rights, hands off. We are descendants of people that were enslaved at the plantations around us. We are in Louisiana's Cancer Alley as a result of the extraction, of the disregard, of the lack of respect and value for human lives, for human Black lives. Last year, our organization, along with the community, we fought off an industrial facility that would have pumped 150 tons of pollution into our community. Thank you. And we did that because we argued that our communities deserved historic recognition and protection. That it wasn't just the plantations that they market for their weddings and they market for tourists. It was the Black descendant communities that are on the fence lines of those plantations that deserve historic protection as well. And as a result of our fight, we got the National Park Service, the Department of the Interior, to recognize that 11 miles of the river road throughout Cancer Alley was eligible for National Historic Landmark status. We got them to recognize that our community, Freetown of Wallace, which was founded by Civil War soldiers who were enslaved, who fought for their freedom, came back, got together, put the money together to buy land and started our community. We said those towns were also worthy of historic protection, and we got it. But don't clap too loud, y'all, because guess what? This administration said, we don't care. We don't care what your ancestors died for. We don't care that you are dying. Your history doesn't matter. Our own Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality reached out to the National Park Service and said, take it away from them. And that's what they did. They revoked our eligibility. 22,000 acres of land that was going to be protected from industry, wiped off the books. So I'm here to tell them, take your hands off my community. Get your hands off Cancer Alley. Get your hands off my Black history. You know what? Because I don't give you know what about what your letter says, about what your designation says. You cannot take away my history. You cannot take away the blood, the soil, the tears that's in that land, and you will not take away our fight. Because you know what? When you bob, we gon' weave. As a young said, when you nut, we gon' pop. We enjoy making fools out of you. We enjoy making you lose over and over and over again. That was in our blood. That's what we were born to do, and we ready. So bring it. So with that, I'm gonna let Joe. Hi everybody. So wonderful to see you all here. I'm Joe, the other half of this one right here. I don't know if you heard, but there is a tariff going on in this country. And from what I hear, this tariff was supposed to only impact a small amount of people, and the rest of us wouldn't feel anything about that. We all know that was untrue. We're all suffering right now because of a tariff. Everybody is impacted by that. But you know what else we're also impacted by? And that's pollution. The pollution that's being created in my community, in Wallace, in St. John the Baptist Parish, the middle of Cancer Alley, where we have one of the highest risk of cancer in the country. That pollution that's hitting us is also hitting you as well. We may be on the fence line, but everybody is on the line. When we go down, you go down after us. But despite the crazy amount of pollution in our air, in our water, in our land, the federal protection is being wiped away. Agencies are ignoring the fact or don't care that we're all dying. They're giving polluters permission, even more permission than ever, to continue to pollute our descendant communities. And we have to push back. Our communities are overburdened. We cannot take any more of this. And we need all of you to come to the river parishes, help us fight. Help us push back against a system that's been trying to eliminate us since the day our ancestors got here. We've always been designated as a sacrifice zone, and we're tired of being sacrificed. We did not come out here to fight. We came out here because of love. We love our communities. We love our homes. Our ancestors fought hard for the land that we get to live on right now. We're not here for the billions. We're here for what's free, or what should be free. Yeah. Clean air, clean water, clean land. That's a human right, and it should be free to everybody. We're tired of being sacrificed for those who make money. And I'll end with this. I know there is a pushback against DEI, and that we no longer like this in this country. Where was your pushback against DEI when you went to Africa to get my ancestors? Where was your pushback against DEI when you made my ancestors work on your plantation? Where was your distaste for DEI when they had to live in the same house that you pushed them with your family? Where was that energy for DEI back then, 300 years ago when it really mattered? You ignored it, you brought us here. The truth is, we never needed you. We always knew how to get along by ourselves. And with or without you, we will go onward. We are sure of that. But we know you can't make it without us. You've never been able to make it without us. So go ahead. Go ahead. That's why we're here today. And there are many people like us who chose not to be here because they were afraid, because they were concerned. But we're here to speak for them as well. Hands off of our liberty. Hands off of our liberation. Thank you. Hands off Cancer Alley.
Joe and Dr. Joy Banner. All right. The next person coming to the stage has been fighting for us in the legislature and currently is on city council. Everyone give it up for Helena Moreno.
Hey, New Orleans. All right, so first, a thank you to all of you here today, because today you're responding to really what's a national crisis impacting cities all across the country, including people right here in New Orleans. So give yourselves a round of applause. Y'all, does anything that's happened over the past 100 days even make sense? Let's go back. Let's go back to the initial start of these 100 days, where we got information that all of a sudden all this federal funding and all the federal grants would be just frozen. Just frozen. Now, to the city of New Orleans, that meant a $500 million impact. Can you imagine the level of panic that came through the city as we thought about how are we going to lose $500 million? Let me make it even on a bigger stage here. Did you know that half of the state's budget is made up of federal funding? So I thought it was really funny and interesting that when the people pushed back, even people within Trump's party pushed back, that all of a sudden there was a bit of a pause to that. Which shows what? That you, the people are the ones who are really in charge and in control. Because let me tell you this, when we fight, so now, here's where we're at. Federal workers, like you, federal workers, we say hands off our federal workers who are providing great services to the people here in our city and across our country. We have 16,000 federal workers right here in our region. In Troy Carter's district and in Steve Scalise's district. So let's just say this is a time to make sure that members of Congress know how important our federal workers are, and we say hands off for those federal workers providing great services. But now I want to tell you about where we're at with nonprofits who are really doing great work in our city of New Orleans that have had their grant funding slashed. And I'm talking about services that provide feeding programs for children. Feeding programs for children are losing money. I want to talk about a great organization called STAR that helps victims of sexual assault. Yes, applaud to that great organization. Well, because they have lost grant funding, they're having to lay off social workers, lay off those individuals who are providing these vital services to victims who really need it. That's what we're seeing right here on the ground. And that's why we say we must push back, we must push back, we must push back, because when we fight, we win. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Today I'm asking you to please continue to stay engaged like this. Yeah. Continue to stay engaged and grab your neighbor, grab your friend, because this works. This level of response works, and it's happening right here in New Orleans, and it's happening all across the country. And I can tell you this, that your city council is going to be pushing back with you. In fact, this Thursday at our council meeting, we're going to be having a presentation from some of those nonprofits so that they can tell the story of who no longer is receiving help because what's happening in Washington, D.C. Let those stories be heard of the damage that they're doing throughout this country and to our city right here, the city of New Orleans. We got work to do, y'all. We got work to do, because there are some people up in Washington, D.C. that believe that they are the ones in control, that they believe that they are the ones in charge, and they believe that they can roll right over us. But guess what? They're not in charge. The people are in charge. The people are in charge. And guess what? We're not going to get rolled over, because when we fight, thank y'all so much. I love you, New Orleans.
Helena Moreno! The next speaker coming to the stage is Britton Forsyth, a Louisiana native, having grown up in Lafayette and moved to New Orleans as a teenager. He comes to his current roles as legislative coordinator at Step Up Louisiana, board chair at Forum for Equality, and DSCC member for District 91 with a background in electoral campaigns, community organizing, and legislative advocacy. Everyone, sound like a million people for Britton Forsyth!
Hey y'all. First, I'm so honored to be asked to speak. I come here as someone who's worked in organizing, policy, campaigning, and government. There's a specific experience I pull from in everything I do. I'm really grateful to have that experience as my introduction to organizing. In 2018, the strip clubs on Bourbon Street were raided. At the time, I was a field intern. It was my first job in politics. But I had a friend who was a dancer and ended up being a leader in the Bourbon Reliance of Responsible Entertainers. It was an amazing movement. That friend brought me around to meetings, asked my advice, and asked for help. None of that was because I was or am an expert. It was because she trusted me. And what I learned sitting quietly in the back of those rooms is that any movement that will build the world that we need will not leave anyone behind. It's going to be a movement fueled by love, filled with imperfect people, and all those imperfect people will lock arms. And when anyone is attacked, say, if you want to come for any of us, you have to come through all of us. I look at this moment we're in, and it's scary. We don't have to shove that down or act like it isn't there. I feel scared. I think it's okay to feel scared. There's an unelected, arrogant billionaire gutting vital services. We love a boo. Boo. There's a few more. There's two more. We can boo for each one. The president is an openly power-hungry, I'm not done, right-wing fascist who wants to be king. I could go down the list of appointees, for instance, a Secretary of Health and Human Services that pushes plainly false information. This is a good call and response for me. I wish I would have set up my whole speech to do this call and response. We'd be here all day, and that's not why I'm here, so I'm not going to keep going through the list. This administration has set its sights on every working person in this country. Black Americans, immigrants, and trans people are direct targets. I'm here to ask you to make a choice. The people in power right now want us to turn against each other.
Maybe,
they want
Scott,
to pick us
maybe,
off
I don't know.
one by one. As that famous and now all too appropriate lecture from a German pastor states, first they came for the socialists. Today, I'm asking that we stop them there. That means when we see ICE in our neighborhoods, we make sure everyone knows that our block does not rat on our neighbors. We don't know the answer to those officers' questions. All we know is that they'll have to present a warrant signed by a judge with the appropriate date on it. That means we provide resources, jobs, and safety for trans people in our communities. And anytime someone spews hate or harassment, we tell them that it's really weird to be so obsessed with trans people. And it seems pretty ridiculous to base your whole personality around hating less than 1% of the population that doesn't impact your life in any way. That means when these blatant racists try to hide behind the thinnest veil of not supporting DEI, we stand with our black coworkers and make sure their jobs are safe. We refuse to engage in a bad faith argument that puts anyone's identity or deservedness up for debate. When someone comes for unions, that seems like a bad idea. When they try to act like workers in this country don't deserve to be paid a wage they can thrive and support a family on, we remind them, every single one of us, are closer to our neighbors who don't have a safe place to live than we are to these gross, greedy billionaires like Musk and Bezos. And that lifting up workers and poor folks lifts up an entire community. With each of those things, there's a phrase that's important to remember. It's something I've been saying to myself. I'm going to say it, and then I'd like you to say it with me a couple times. That phrase is, do not comply in advance. Do not comply in advance. Do not comply in advance. I think that's something we need to remind each other of. Government and police power only exist if everyone goes along with it. Again, it's scary. We have to be courageous. We have to act every day as if our lives are on the line, even when the gun of this authoritarian monstrosity is not pointed at us. We have to do that first because it's morally right, but also because that gun will point at us next. We can only do this together. We can't let them decide how we talk about each other. We need to be proudly and unapologetically loving to each other. We faced a fascist and violent government before. We can pull from the courage of those who came before us. There are plenty of examples from the trans liberation movement and the civil rights movement. Many folks who lived through those movements are still with us today. They may even be in this crowd with us today. Civil rights leaders trained together to withstand the brutality of police, to support each other, and to remain determined when things felt scary and hopeless. Trans leaders found ways to share joy and love, despite being treated horrifically by the state and ostracized by other queer leaders. They did this because there were no other options. Their lives and the lives of people they loved were on the line. An ACT UP organizer once told me that during the AIDS crisis, they would, quote, go to a funeral in the morning, protest in the afternoon, and dance at night. That's really stuck with me as something that we have to do all three of. We have to provide space for connection and support. We have to refuse to accept the status quo, and we have to find times to be loving and joyful with each other. I want to be clear, I think we found ourselves in the same moment of all those that I've referenced. And if they can do it, we can do it. In order to be that courageous, we have to be in trusting and supportive relationship with our communities. There's so many ways to do that. I have a suggestion today that if you haven't already, please join a membership-based community organization that focuses on making change and making people's lives better. As a proud member of Step Up Louisiana, you can see some orange shirts back here. I'm a little partial, and I really suggest joining our Orleans Parish chapter. We will love you, take care of you, fight for you, and feed you. You can also join us at an action on April 22nd at 10 a.m. in front of UMC, where we will be standing with the nurses who are fighting for a fair contract and demanding that LCMC adhere to the Workers' Bill of Rights. I'll close with this. There's so many people in this city, in this state that I love. I'm sure as we stand here today, there's an exponential amount of love in this crowd. I believe that to love people is to love them politically, and to love someone is to organize to change the world to make it better for them. Thank you all so much. Before I get off the stage, I get the honor of introducing a friend of mine who just so happened to be right after me. Blue DeMarco is a transgender activist with the Queer and Trans Community Action Project to fight for the right to bodily autonomy and liberation for queer and trans people and reproductive rights. Because I have the mic, I get to say he's also such a good friend of mine, and I think a really indispensable member of this community, and I'm glad to have him here.
Hey, y'all. Oh, I don't know how. Okay, thanks. Sorry, y'all. Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Blue. I'm a member of the Queer Trans Community Action Project. So let's talk about why we're here today. Let's go ahead and get into it. Elon Musk and Donald Trump have and continue to cut funding for HIV research and they have shut down PEPFAR, an emergency relief fund that began during the AIDS epidemic to help fund HIV treatment globally. The UN has reported that because of these cuts, an estimated 4.2 million will die from HIV in this year alone. Hands off PEPFAR! Hands off HIV funding! The Supreme Court is to decide a case on whether or not HIV treatment is protected under the Affordable Care Act. Why are they doing this, you ask? Why would they cut off vital medications and treatment for an epidemic that never ended? It is because they would rather see us dead than walking the streets safely. They refuse to fund HIV because they would rather use that money to fund war, killing thousands of children in Palestine and innocent civilians in Yemen. People are telling me that I would get thrown off of a building for being trans and queer in Gaza, but the reality is that it's 5 times more likely to happen here in the U.S. Trump and his goons have recently elected a special task force to target and attack transgender students, saying the purpose of this is to eliminate pernicious gender ideology from schools, putting a target on the backs of young trans children. Students of New Orleans have continued to stand up against anti-DEI policies, but are being met with conduct charges and deportation without the defense of a single public official. Trump and Musk say they are protecting women, but this is not true. They use this as a ruse to attack the trans community. Our struggles are not separate, but instead something to unite us. The attacks on bodily autonomy are coming for us all. Abortion bans and lack of access to reproductive care are direct attacks against women, trans people, and queer people. Access to reproductive care, like abortion, is gender-affirming care, just like hormone replacement therapy and a gender-affirming surgery. Donald Trump has passed an executive order stating that the U.S. government does not recognize transgender people as an attempt to erase us and pretend that we do not exist. Meanwhile, they destroy the few rights we have fought hard for. I want Donald Trump and Elon Musk to take their hands off of our bodies, and not just them, but every single president, every government official, because whether they push cruel and life-threatening legislation like Jeff Landry or the ones who stand by and do nothing, they take their hands off my body. I don't just want to get married. I don't just want health care. I want it all. I want abortion on demand. I want hormone replacement therapy for free. I want fully supported and supplied HIV and AIDS care. I want free health care. I want to be safe when I walk the streets, and I want to see every trans child blossom into a trans adult. I want full and total liberation without compromise. I want my freedom, and we will not stop fighting until we get it. We are not going to get it until the single mothers working 2 jobs can afford to feed their children, until the union busting stops, until Palestine is completely free and liberated, until the cops stop killing black and brown people in the street, and until every immigrant is free. We must unite the many to defeat the few. Woo! Thank you so much for letting me speak. Feel free to come and talk to me about my shirt after this.
Keep it going for Blue! Thank you all so much for being here. We have coming to the stage next a political activist who has fought against the Trump agenda in our communities, in the media, and in the halls of Congress. Everyone, sound like 1 million people for Elliot Canty! Keep it going for Elliot!
Thank you so much, Laura, for the great introduction, and thank you all for turning out for this cause. Today, we stand with one voice to tell Elon Musk to get his hands off the people's government. We are witnessing an unprecedented seizure of power from the world's richest man as the President of the United States offers up services that we, the American people, rely on for Elon to turn into an investment opportunity for him and his buddies. At the same time, we are seeing a backslide in Americans' civil liberties. All while the president is doing stunts at the White House, bullying world leaders, turning the White House lawn into a parking lot, and threatening to run for a third term to hide the reality of what's going on. Let me be clear. This is a coup perpetrated by the far right to give more money and power to the wealthy. They're coming after civil servants, calling them lazy, saying they're not doing their jobs to convince Americans that this purge is necessary. Most of you probably know a civil servant. For me, it's my parents who are being targeted by the President of the United States. Two people who have fought for my opportunity to have a better life, two of the hardest working people that I know. Those two, along with over 2 million others, have dedicated their careers to building up the country we have. When I see blatant and vile attacks from these talking heads at the White House and on fake Fox News, who haven't put in a hard day's work in years, if ever, are spewing in the media, it infuriates me, as I'm sure it does many of you. When Elon Musk gets in front of a camera and stammers out some half-baked lie about some 1,000-year-old receiving Social Security that anyone with more than 2 brain cells can disapprove, it boils my blood. Elon Musk is the front man. The billionaire oligarchs in the front row of the president's inauguration, who had the best view in the House, are all in on this. It's not enough that they buy our politicians and have them do their bidding, cutting taxes and shifting the burden on us while they still get to reap the benefits. Jeff Bezos didn't build our roads, but his delivery vans sure do drive on them. Mark Zuckerberg didn't pave the way for the internet to be accessible to everyone, but his social media platforms wouldn't be what they are without a free and open internet. Elon Musk doesn't patrol the skies to ensure a safe environment, but he sure as hell does blow his rockets up in our atmosphere. They've now set their sights on limited programs that help us, the people, in the name of waste, fraud, and abuse. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, programs to feed children in school, and departments designed to protect us as consumers from being taken advantage of is their idea of waste and fraud. But no, not the richest man on the planet, Mr. Musk, who has received almost $40 billion with a B dollars from the federal government, making him the biggest welfare queen in American history. That's not waste, fraud, and abuse. No, not to Donald Trump. Not the billions we give to pharmaceutical companies for the privilege to spend thousands of dollars out of pocket when we need medicine. Not the trillions we have spent on the military-industrial complex so that a group of individuals can profit off war. I don't need to tell you this, but this is not in the name of government efficiency. It's in the name of giving tax breaks to people who damn sure don't need them. We as Louisianans, as Americans, are at a crossroads. One path is to leave here and to do nothing, letting the people in power continue their onslaught of services that break the government until it can only function for them. At that point, we will be nothing but machines that can only turn profit for them. Fight back. The other path is to take this passion and we all have and carry it with us. No one is coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. They want us to feel hopeless, isolated, divided, upset, and crazy. But now is not the time to give in. Where do we start? We start with organizing. We have to organize our communities. We have to join organizations. The people at Step Up NOLA, they were here. I actually became a dues-paying member for them last week. But we must also hold our politicians accountable, all of them, and elect people who can show some damn fight against these loser-ass thugs who want the rich to have more wealth and more power over our government. While we may be angry, that's why we're here, we must channel that anger to our fight, because when we fight, there is no one that will be able to stop us. Thank you so much.
Elliot, everyone. And keep going for yourselves who are still here cheering on all of these wonderful speakers. We have one more group of speakers and they have an important thing to share. These are people from the Citizens for the Constitution. I thank you all still being here right now and listening to these important words. Give it up for Janet Howard, Nicole Charbonnet, and Vernon Palmer.
Hello. Okay, so let's start. When I was little, a long time ago, I used to hear about stories in Russia where if somebody crossed the leader, they lost their job. And I said to myself, thank God I wasn't born there. It never dawned on me that this would be happening here. But yet it is. When law firms lose their security clearance not because they're a security risk, but because they crossed the president, we have autocracy. And it is something that every bit of my being cries, we are not this. This is not what we are. And recently, I had the good fortune to stand at the American Cemetery in Normandy and look out over those fields of crosses. And I said to myself, what do the French say? And what the French say is these people were remarkable. They came here not to expand their territory, not to conquer, but to help free us. And now we have a president who attacks the ones that are being invaded, supports the invaders. And I say to myself, this is not who we are. And back home, we have the student protesters who say we're against what's happening in Gaza. And they too are gone after. And thank God they didn't do that back in the 60s, because most of my generation would be in jail or unemployed if that happened. But I say this is not who we are. But who are we? We are Americans who have struggled through differences. We have fought and we can survive because we had the rule of law, we had freedom of religion or not, and because we had the separation of powers. And all these are under attack, and we have to fight back. We have to vote. We have to talk to people who don't agree with us so we can get our messages across and hear theirs. We have a lot of work to do, and we need a big tent for it. And contact your representatives, even though they don't seem to hear a word you're saying. Keep talking, talk. Thank you.
Hey, the question is, are we going to continue on this path towards a multiracial, pluralistic, egalitarian democracy? Or are we going to abandon the experiment? That is the question here. Our country is in crisis. We are at a crossroads. We're here because one party wants to replace our democracy with extremist, reactionary, minority authoritarianism. This is autocracy 101. You go after the educational system. You go after the lawyers. You go after Congress and take their powers away. You go after all of our institutions, both governmental and non-governmental. They're attacking the free press, the judicial system, universities. They see a world where some are worthy of protection and privilege while others are radically dangerous, fully illegitimate, unfit to govern, un-American, the enemy within. We are the the enemy within, according to them. With a disorienting speed, non-government institutions have bent the knee. ABC, Columbia University, the Washington Post, the Los Angeles Times. These are the guardians of our norms and the strongholds of our traditions and respectability, supposedly. Hannah Arendt would find this too familiar. She was a refugee from Nazi Germany, and what unsettled her most was the behavior not of our enemies, she said, but of our friends, who had done nothing to bring this about. It was precisely the members of respectable society who had not been touched by the intellectual and moral upheaval in the early stages of the Nazi period who were the first to yield. They simply exchanged one system of values for another. I'll leave you, let me just finish with this. They asked themselves to what extent they would still be able to live in peace with themselves after having committed certain deeds. To put it crudely, they refused to murder, not so much because they still held fast to the command, thou shalt not kill, but because they were unwilling to live together with the murderer themselves. This is, to channel Cory Booker, this is not right or left. It's not right, it is right or wrong. This is not a partisan moment. This is a moral moment. Where do you stand? I will leave you with the words of Abraham Lincoln. He wrote in 1862, fellow citizens, we cannot escape history. We, even we here, hold the power and bear the responsibility. We shall nobly save or meanly lose the last best hope of Earth. Thank you. If anyone wants to join me, we have an Occupy Tesla movement going every Tuesday through Friday from 2 to 6 in front of Tesla on Washington and Chapatola.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Wrap it up, Bertie.
I'm 84 years old. I'm a sixth-generation New Orleanian. I taught constitutional law for more than 20 years. I speak only for myself, but here's my message. America, wake up. Louisiana, wake up. New Orleans, wake up. Open your eyes. We've been sleepwalking into the dictatorship of a madman. We're enduring body blows to our Constitution, illegality after illegality, body blows to the rule of law, happening so fast no one can keep track. And now he has elected to deliver a body blow to our economy. Body blows hurt. We are losing our life savings right now. Our IRAs, our 401ks, our pensions, our retirement funds, going up in smoke to suit the vanity of a capricious Trump. There seem to be no guardrails. They've all been torn down. There's only one left. And it's you brave people who've come out here today. Thank you so very much. Trump policies are devastating our state as I speak. Think about this. 1/3 of all people in Louisiana are on Medicaid. 700,000 are children. The rest are caregivers, single moms, delivery drivers, and the rest. They want to take $880 billion out of Medicaid, which we pay for. $880 billion in order to give a tax break to the wealthiest. And what will that do to our health system? It will leave us uninsured, uncovered, and sick enough to have to go to the emergency room. The $12 billion cuts recently, $12 billion cuts to CDC, Center for Disease Control, will stop tracking infectious diseases. And as you know, the infectious diseases will not stop coming. The impact of tariffs on our port here in New Orleans will be devastating. They were devastating in his first term. Aluminum metals went down in half. All cargo volume went down. Soybean, corn exports declined 20%. It's going to be much, much worse this time. Why? Because the tariffs are higher, because the tariffs are universal, including the world at large, but not including, curiously enough, Russia and North Korea.
Of course.
Our universities, we have 5 here in this city. Our universities have federal research grants to do research on medicine, science, and the like. Tulane and LSU have about $300 million in grants. These are being devastated. These are being threatened. The dean of the Tulane Medical School says we will lose a generation of research. We will see a massive brain drain as researchers lose their jobs and leave our city and state. I'll just say it again. America, wake up. Louisiana, wake up.
Thank you so much, Vernon Palmer. We have one more person talking from Citizens for the Constitution. Everyone, a huge round of applause for Lori Frank.
I think I have 1 minute at this point. And I'm going to try to stick to it. But before I take my 1 minute, I want to thank the people who organized this today. I don't know if I've heard them yet, but they deserve it. So please applaud them. Okay, I'm known for talking fast. I need to talk slow for this, but I need to talk fast because I only have 1 minute. So I'm going to try to do this very quickly. Elliot talked about a lot of what I was going to say, which is I'm here because I'm scared, and I'm here because I feel helpless, and I feel alone. But I'm here because I talked about it, and I kept talking about it. And I found people who felt the same, and they listened to me, and they heard me. And just from me talking, I ended up here today closing this event. What? And I'm skipping a lot of this. I had this wonderful thing prepared for you. But the thing that I want everyone to think about in close of this is we heard so much. And there's so much going on. And so many people are being harmed. And so many organizations are being harmed. We need to be the people who are attacking this, who are going to make this better, because our politicians don't seem to be doing what we're looking for. I keep searching for something to do, and I realize that I don't need to search for somebody else. I need to search within myself. And that's what I want everyone here to think about, and to talk to their friends about, and to talk to their neighbors about, and their communities about. Pick your thing. What do you care about the most? What provokes you? What concerns you? What upsets you? What drives you? And focus on what you can give. Are you good at planning? Are you good at organizing? Are you a musician? Are you an artist? Whatever it is, get creative. Figure it out. Find your thing. Figure out how to help and go do it. Get your friends, get your neighbors, research organizations, sign up for the people that work with the organizations and people that were here today, and make a difference. Be together and be indivisible.
We are almost here to the end, and I'm so excited to introduce this next speaker. Not only is he an amazing local musician, Mark Stone and Sun Pie Barnes go to their shows. He has some words to wrap up this amazing event, and then I'll make sure to thank all of you and all of our volunteers. But everyone, right now, everybody, we've got some people left here. Sound like 1 million people for Mark Stone.
And look, we're not going to win we're not going to waste time and set up to play music. I'm just very grateful that everyone is here. Grateful that Bruce came out. And all I want to say after hearing all these amazing people speak today is non-participation only benefits the bad guys. And anyone who tells you or tells anyone you know that your vote and your voice doesn't matter is scared of you using that vote and that voice. So don't take that bullshit anymore, and don't let anyone jive you or anyone you know into letting you think that your voice and your vote don't count. We saw what happened last Saturday.
Here's the deal, everyone. You've made it here. You've been here. You've been in this community. But the fight doesn't stop here. Follow up with the groups that made this event happen. We have Indivisible NOLA, Metairie Indivisible, Step Up Louisiana, Queer and Trans Community Action Project, Citizens for the Constitution, Union Migrante, Workplace Justice Project, and Freedom Road Socialist Organization. Also, if you're wrapped up now and you want to continue the party, tonight, Union Migrante is having a fundraiser, 10 p.m. at the Domino on St. Claude. You've held up signs all day, go shake your asses. And tomorrow, we fight, and we say, hands off! Hands off! Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you. Oh, and if you want to take out some nonviolent frustration right now, we have had a Tesla pinata patiently waiting the entire event, full of goodies for everyone who is here now. So please.
Where is that?
He has been so patient, and it is a really, I think it's built better than the Cybertrucks actually are. So please go over and hit that pinata and keep hanging out. Thank you all so much.
Where's this pinata at? Let's go get that. Yeah.
Normally it's the Mercedes and Volkswagen. We would have defeated Hitler earlier.
That's right. Now where's this pinata at?
Right over there.
It's all right. I just want to still see it get broken.
Sometimes you're mad, and that's why we got this. This is a one-to-one replica of the Cybertruck. Out of the same material. Customers, okay? This is an effigy of the pinnacle of vehicular masculinity, and we're gonna knock the crud out of it.
Give that girl a back.
Now, because this protest is about our future, we're gonna give the inaugural swing to one of the best of us right here. How you doing, sweetheart? You ready? All right. I'm gonna give this to you, okay? And you're gonna be, and I'm gonna kind of guide your hands where you're gonna swing, okay? And when you swing, you're gonna hit it hard, and you're gonna do great. All right, so everybody just a little bit of space, give us a space. You got it, sweetheart? Now raise your stick up real hard, take a couple steps forward, and swing it! Yeah! Keep going! Come on, sweetheart, yeah! Come on again, yeah!
Okay, wait.
Who else would like a turn? Who would like to take a swing? Come on, let me see some hands, let me see some hands.
It's a little cardboard thing.
Now let's step aside. At least take off the glasses. And I'm going to take these off for you. Go ahead and take a swing. It's okay.
Just swing at it with it.
No, you just close it.
Just close it.
Oh, no, hit it again. Hit it again. Yeah!
Oh, shit.
Who next? She raised her hand. You're next, you'll get another swing. Yeah, no, you don't have to. You can do
They
whatever
said
you
just
want.
look at it and hit it.
Aim for the bulletproof glass. Aim for the bulletproof glass.
There we go.
It's got liquid in it.
Hey, hey, what's this? What's this? Oh, it's an orange liqueur.
I felt the liquid come out when he hit it.
That's all right. Just close your eyes.
Just close your eyes.
Gutted. Hilarious.
One last announcement for everybody. This is one last thing. If you see some trash on the ground, pick it up. This is a lovely public space. Let's keep it that way. Thank y'all, folks.
Lose the phone.
Was that any good?
Everyone lose the phone.
All right, here we go. Got the whole event. Saved on YouTube now. I need to go get some food. Let's go take a seat over here right quick. They're still yelling over there about something. Use one of these tables for a second. For a while, but that was a long time. Let's see if we get this reverse. Shit. Oh, God, my back hurts. Alright, well, we got that whole event. Everybody yelling and screaming. A little bit political, but I guess you know it was something. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some food, and then I'm glad you guys were here for it. Saw the video, and I will. Maybe we'll do some kind of like streetcar ride or something. I don't know. Later, next time. I mean. Go get some food. I think I'm over here by the Riverwalk. I think I'm gonna go get some canes. It feels like there's rain coming. But anyway, appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Let me get this without covering the camera here. Peace out, guys.